After nearly 8 months of hockey and arguably the most competitive series in WHL final history, it all comes down to one game winner-take-all to be crowned champions of the Dub for 2007. Will Vancouver declaw the Tigers, or can Medicine Hat slay the Giant? Better stick around to find out. You don't want to miss a second. It's Game 7 between the Tigers and Giants next. Welcome to Seventh Heaven. For the first time since 1994, the WHL Final is going to its seventh and deciding game. The winner, of course, will go home WHL champions. The loser, well, they will just go home. Good evening and welcome to WHL Hockey on Shaw. I'm your host, Dan Elliott. Welcome to the arena in Medicine Hat. Let's start by talking a little history. This is the 8th time since the Dub's inception, 41 years ago, that the final has gone to a 7th game. Now, in those previous Game 7s, 6 of them were won by the home team. For the Vancouver Giants, this is the first time in franchise history they've even played a Game 7, and it's the first time they've been on the brink of elimination since the opening round of the 2005 playoffs. As for the Tigers, well, this situation is old hat for them. They played Game 7 versus Red Deer in the first round of this postseason. But in a game like this, you have to forget the stats, the standings, the previous history. Whoever plays the best 60 minutes of hockey, possibly a little bit more, will be the team being crowned WHL champion at the end of the night. And because that is what's on the line this evening, captain of the Medicine Hat Tigers, Chris Russell, knows this could be possibly the toughest game he has ever played.
It's a one-game win-all, and Vancouver's going to come with their best effort. We know that, and we know we have to come with our best effort. And I think it doesn't matter what's happened throughout the year. The last playoffs comes down to one game, and the team that comes the hardest is probably going to win it.
We are ready here ringside. Time now to check upstairs with our play-by-play crew of Dan Russell and Bill Wilms, who are chomping at the bit to get this one going. Guys?
Thanks very much, Dan. We're not the only ones. This whole community is a buzz today. While we usually say winner takes it all, that's not the case. Both teams are going to the Memorial Cup, but try telling these two teams that it's not a huge game tonight, and try telling the Medicine Hat Tigers that home ice isn't worth something big.
Boy, their home ice record is terrific. Take a look at this. The Vancouver Giants have been in this building 5 times this year. However, they've won 2 times in those 5. But Dan, all 5 games in here were 1-goal games. Tough place to win.
It is, and the Medicine Hat Stars, boy, they showed last night when they emerged, they're tough.
They were given some room, they were given some time, they were given some space, they were able to move that puck inside the Vancouver Giant zone. They capitalized on some Vancouver Giant mistakes. They got that puck into some key, easy scoring areas. And you're right, Chris Stevens with 2 goals, Todd with his 6th of the season, and Darren Helm right there with a game-winning goal. He got the monkey off his back, but will they be able to do that again here tonight?
So there's big forwards that emerged for Medicine Hat. These are 2 for Vancouver that they're looking for big things from.
Well, Repic, the leading scorer in the playoffs, and Lucic, one of the toughest big men in this league. He can put the puck in the net. They're going to need these 2 guys with Rabbit on that line to be very good here tonight.
And with the end of this series comes the end of the #1 sidebar story of this series. That is McArdle versus Dorsett, and it's been going on since the beginning. No time gone. They got into exchange. That's before the first puck was dropped. There was big hits. There was a little bit of a spear by Kendall McArdle. Then they got into Game 2. The fight set up that took place. Looked like McArdle was going to fight Dorsett, but Jordan Benfield stepped in. You know how that played in the Vancouver Giants dressing room. Then Game 4, McArdle thought he was bitten. He was. There was a match penalty for Dorsett, and they picked it up again last night.
You wonder if it'll continue in Game 7 here tonight. I can tell you one thing. Last night, when Derek Dorsett was introduced to this crowd here after his 1-game suspension, he had a 2-minute standing ovation. I've talked to a lot of people, Dan. They said they've never seen that kind of an ovation for a junior hockey player.
And we're getting another big one as we speak right now. Now, the pressure's on all the players, but there's 2 in particular that have the most amount of pressure on them.
You got a 17-year-old goaltender in Tyson Sexsmith. He's got 3 shutouts in this playoff against the Tigers. He's been great. He hasn't really been peppered. But here's the key. How will Tyson Sexsmith perform in a Game 7 in this building right here in Medicine Hat? Because up to this point, he's really been sensational. Matt Keatley, the 20-year-old at the other end. He's been as good, if not better. He made a series of 4 saves there in a row on the sensational variety. A 20-year-old goaltender tonight in net for Medicine Hat, a 17-year-old in net for Vancouver. A classic matchup.
Absolutely right. Well, let's get more from a Vancouver perspective. Standing by with head coach Don Hay is Barry Strader.
Thanks very much, Don. Going into this series, a lot of people anticipated a very close series. The teams are very evenly matched, of course. Did you anticipate going the distance to 7 games?
Well, you know, we prepare every series to go 7 games, and you know, this is the first time in a long time that we've had to go 7 games, and I think it just tells you the competitiveness of both teams. Both organizations have really built a solid foundation over the league over the last couple of years, and you know, they hate to lose and they really enjoy winning. So I think it's going to go right down to the end.
Of course, you were involved the last time a final series went to 7 games with Kamloops over Saskatoon back in 1994. What does it take to win a Game 7 of a championship final?
Well, I think that what it takes is that everybody's got to give their absolute best effort. I think that you have to bring your best game tonight, not only as a team but as individuals. And you know, you just can't leave anything on the ice. You can't leave anything on the bus. You have to get off that bus really feeling you have a good chance to win, and you have to come into the rink and play that way.
Thanks, Don. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Now let's go back to Dan.
Orange County is pumped and ready. This is what it's all about. Game 7 of the WHL final between the Tigers and Giants is next, right here on Shaw. With Bill Wilms getting ready for Game 7 of the WHL Final and front door bragging rights in the upcoming Memorial Cup. Let's meet tonight's starting goaltenders, the same two that have carried the load the whole playoffs. Tyson Sexsmith, what a tremendous debut for him in the Western Hockey League playoffs. A 1.77 goals against average, a 17-year-old who plays like he's 20. And up the ice, Matt Keatley. Wouldn't this be something? A hometown boy, his last junior game is in his home city, and he has a chance to win a title. And Matt Keatley, I'll tell you what, he has been everything the Tigers would have wanted in his entire career. There's the referees. The last 2 referees of the year, Andy Thiessen named the referee of the year this season, and Kyle Raymond the referee of the year last year. The Al Paradise Award winners. They're both 27 years old. Thiessen worked last night, so he's working 2 games in a row. Game 7 underway. Tigers in white, going left to right. McArdle shoots it in on Keatley, and he holds on. And Bill has keys of the game for both teams tonight.
Yeah, they're too evenly matched, folks. You got to figure that this is what's going to decide tonight's game. Puck protection premium. Boy, if you turn it over, these teams will make you pay for it. They've got to play hard, and they've got to play so smart. Stay out of the penalty box. Both teams' power plays are working well, and what a goaltending battle. Both goaltenders, 92.3 save percentage this series.
Tigers trying to set up for the first time, but the pass missed the point. Sauer.
I think I'll make a small prediction here. The team tonight, Dan, with the #1 star, wins this hockey game.
Don't go out on the limb too much. Bosch putting the puck in. Todd knocked down, throws it at the net. Sexsmith saw it. Lucic picks up the loose puck, and out comes Rabbit. Rabbit has Repik on his right, but he's offside as Rabbit made one move too many. And then after the whistle, Repik shot the puck, and that always draws a crowd.
Yeah, they come up the ice very quickly. The Vancouver Giants do. They get that puck across the line. Not very often you'll see teams go offside. So disciplined. The shot from that right wing does draw this attention. But you can see right there a concerted effort, Dan, by the Tigers and the Vancouver Giants to not take a penalty. You cannot spend needless time in the penalty box tonight. That could majorly be a difference. in this hockey game.
We've talked through the series about the importance of first goal, but it's not quite as big tonight because Vancouver scored the first goal in Game 6 and did not go on to win the game. But when Medicine Hat scores first, they're 12-0 in the 07 playoffs. Vancouver is now 12-3. J.D. Watt in the corner. Squeezed off the puck. Tigers forcing it out to the neutral zone as Jared Sauer gets it to the Vancouver line, then gives chase, puts it back to the net. Regner turning with it, got the puck up, but it was intercepted by Benfeld. Benfeld puts it towards the net. It's in Krause's equipment. He kicks it free and banks it off the boards back into Tiger territory. We're a minute and a half into the first period as Michael Sauer goes back to collect the puck. And he's been outstanding in this series for the Tigers. Benfield, long pass, that's picked off by Jonathan Blum. His pass also picked off, and you wonder if nerves will be a part of the first few minutes of this game, Bill.
Every time you hear a pass picked off, you know that's one of those turnovers we're talking about. You got to be careful with that.
Blum flipping the puck inside the line, knocked right back out again. This might be icing on Medicine Hat. Indeed, Tigers are called for the icing.
Yeah, and I think it's really apparent to me after 6 games that the loser of tonight's game, all honesty, I'm thankful that the season is not over. Both of these teams, I believe, deserve to play in the Canada's National Championship, the Memorial Cup. And everything they say about entering the back door or no back door, I think it's garbage. To me, whoever loses this hockey game tonight goes maybe through the side door, but they both deserve to play more hockey next week in Vancouver.
Well said. Rabbit now for Lucic. Repik goes to the front of the net. Lucic trying to one-hand it, but what a great job Russell does to make sure the big Lucic couldn't get past him and get that one-handed pass in front of the net. But Lucic again will try in that corner with Repik and Rabbit. They work the cycle. Lucic heads to the front of the net. There's the pass in the skates, but a quick shot finally by Lucic. Goes through the goal crease area and out the other side. Rabbit can't hold the puck in. Lucic puts it back in offside on Vancouver.
This is what you talked about right at the beginning. We talked about you got to be able to handle Milan Lucic. He will take that puck to the net. Here he goes. He goes on the cycle. Chris Russell, good job, forces it to the outside. Lucic wants to keep possession of that puck, take it to the net, but Repik follows it up. That space was not allowed by the defense for the Medicine Hat Tigers.
Bliznak trying to throw it to McArdle. McArdle turns and shoots. That's blocked. And Schlemko able to move the puck back into Vancouver's, at least to the neutral zone, where Festerling gets it to Bliznak. Now Bliznak in over the line, throws it in front, shot! Keatley makes a good save on Mahachik as he anticipated the pass, and by the time it got over to Mahachik, Keatley had taken all the space away from the Vancouver shooter.
This is a turnover now in the neutral ice area, and Spencer Mahachik, Keatley has really got Mahachik's number. This is a nice pass from Bliznak, a quick cross-ice pass, and Keatley gets over there. If anybody has had trouble getting that puck past the goaltender, it's been Spencer Mahachik. Very square to the shooter, Keatley. Nice save by Matt to keep this 0-0 early in this first period.
Vancouver winning a draw, but it is poked out. Here's a race. It's Jared Sauer getting to it. Sauer keeps on going. Regner along these near boards, and Krause trying to tip at the puck. Mickelson's got it for Vancouver. Now to Krause. Now to Wright. Right up for Watt. Watt will send it in over the line for Wright. Quick backhand shot. That is stopped by Keatley. Battle for the puck in the corner, and the Tigers are able to force the puck out to the neutral zone. Mickelson, who scored that strange goal last night off the glass on the shoot-in from center, where goaltender Keatley was waiting for it to arrive back of the net. Instead, he could have played goal judge, as he had a good view of it going into the net.
And I've said at the time I'd never seen that before, but I started doing a little thinking. I think Vancouver lost a game in Seattle that way on a play that ended up going in behind Dustin Slade at the time, off a seam in the glass.
That was a regular season game, not quite the same importance. Here comes Ennis with Bosch, and the chance in front of the net for Bosch doesn't get there as the shot was turned aside by Keatley. Michael Sauer is hit. Two Giants line him up. And now Repik collects the puck. Michael Repik shoots the puck in. Michael Sauer gets it. Sauer to Schlemko. Schlemko up for Colton Grant. He and Lowry, he kind of crossed up a little bit. And Lucic shoots the puck into Tiger territory. Schlemko, who had 3 assists last night gets the puck out, and here's Helm. Helm in front for Lowry, and it's stopped by Sexsmith. There's the Tigers' best chance so far of the first period, and it was Lowry set up by Helm after Schlemko got the Tigers out of their zone very quickly. You cannot hear yourself think in the Medicine Hat Arena. It is as loud as I've heard any arena at any time in all the years I've covered the Western Hockey League. Grab it, in over the line, shot, stopped by Keatley, and he holds on.
Well, let's take a look at two things here. A.J. Thielen's going to get caught on a pinch. That's a defenseman getting caught at the offensive line. Helm comes out of there. And who joins the rush but Michael Sauer? That's a terrific pass, a very quick pass from Helm to Sauer, and Sexsmith real solid on that save. That pass, Dan, had a lot of mustard on it. And a good job by Sexsmith staying square to the shooter, making that save.
Offensive zone faceoff for Vancouver, won by Bliznak, back to Mahachik, shot, ooh, he just missed the net. He this time went low on Keatley, and he just missed the target. McArdle and Bliznak in the corner. Mahachik taking the puck, turns and shoots again, stopped by Keatley, and the Tigers able to jump on the puck and get it out of harm's way. It's Michael Sauer flipping it out into Vancouver territory, and Mickelson first to the puck. He was hit. Repik follows up, plays it around the boards. Wasden now to Schlemko, long shot. That bounced off a leg. Wasden plays it back to Baldwin. His shot, that's knocked down. Big scramble there for the puck. Regner plays it to Mickelson. He'll have some room to move it. Mickelson shoots it in from center. Baldwin first to the puck, and quickly he moves it out. Trying to catch Vancouver on a change as Jared Sauer forces his way all the way to the circle, but no further. Bear knocking it back into Tiger territory. Benfield. His pass intercepted by Cunningham, who hands it right back to Benfield, who flips it out. Blum will glove it down and then play across ice to the captain, Festerling. Festerling rolling it into Tiger territory, but no icing. Delayed offside is called now as Keatley makes the save. There was a man trapped offside, so face-off outside the line. And by the way, you see Evander Kane, number 9 for Vancouver. He's drawn in. Wookthorel was the late scratch here.
This is how we've gotten to Game 7 here. Inside the series, you see the difference in goals and shots, in power plays. Dad, I thought tonight, and I still think one of the keys for both coaches is going to be containment. You've got to contain the other team's forwards, and that all starts with good defensive positioning. But having said that, I'm impressed with how both teams to this point have gotten the puck on the net. They've gotten it into the offensive zone, and they've actually generated a score, in many cases so far, a scoring chance.
No score in the first period. 5-2 Vancouver on the shot clock so far. And Keatley has been very sharp to start the game. Festerling puts the puck back in the net. Right. Now J.D. Watt. Krause is the third member of this Vancouver line. Tigers intercept. Rumpel try to hit Ennis. Now Bosch goes back into his own zone. Gave it away to J.D. Watt ever so briefly. And now Krause following up. Can't get the shot away, but he does have possession for the Giants. Right. Cycling in the corner. Still Right, maintaining possession. Finally, Bosch takes it off the stick. That's a good shift for Wright as he heads to the bench. Watt out there. Puck is frozen, and we'll get a face-off in Tiger territory.
I think Vancouver has to have Tim Krause play one of his better games tonight as well. He's so quick to identify the shooting lanes in the offensive zone. You see his stats. And one thing about Tim Krause, he can be quiet for parts of a game and then also kill you with two great plays, a couple passes, a couple great shots on goal. I think he's got to be real solid tonight.
Long shot from A.J. Thielen went off the target after it hit a leg, and quickly here comes Helm. Helm with Lowry. Lowry back for Helm. Lowry and Thielen collide back of the net, and Vancouver gets possession. They're able to knock it out. Lucic following it up with Repik. Lucic. Now he and Baldwin will collide. Puck intercepted by Helm, and he starts out. Lowry takes the pass, trying to get around Thielen. Thielen staying with Lowry. Good containment by Vancouver on this shift, but Regner has lost his stick, so he's trying to get a defensive zone faceoff for Vancouver. Referee says move it, but they won't blow the whistle. What's it take to get a whistle? Well, if you're the Tigers, you don't want one. But if you're Vancouver, you're saying, wow, that's unbelievable. Let's go. Grant throws the puck in front of the net. Now it's Dorsett getting it, and a glove hand pass. Blows play down, and there's going to be a penalty on Vancouver on that play. Well, not to be critical of the officials, but I don't know what Vancouver needed to get a face-off in their own zone.
Well, you had a couple of referees in there watching the puck at the skates, and it starts with this play that you talked about right here. This is a containment that we talk about. And again, I thought the Giants did a very good job of containing the players. Remember, Regner didn't have that stick against the back wall. But see, Thielen, he wants to make a hard hit there. He knows that he's got to back off a little bit there. Now he gets support help. Nobody running anybody into the boards. Good containment. Watch at the back boards. You'll see the play against the back wall, and that's where Regner draws a penalty because he played most of that shit without a stick.
I'm sure he was frustrated. He couldn't get a whistle.
Yeah, you can't be frustrated. You know, you got to play smart.
Ennis, as Medicine Hat sets up the first power play of Game 7. Baldwin does not shoot it. Michael Sauer does, and it's deflected off the target by Helm. Ennis at the side of the net. Helm gets the puck, feeds the point. Michael Sauer over to Gord Baldwin. Back over here to Michael Sauer. Long shot. Goes to Ennis. His shot is stopped by Sexsmith. Another chance in front. Bosch shoots it. Sexsmith save. Rebound again. They score!
Boy, they just wouldn't take no for an answer. Sauer with the shot on the net. Now Ennis tries with it. Bosch is the guy that really has all the pressure. Darren Bosch stays with it, till finally, I believe it's Ennis that finds a way in there. There's a couple saved by Sexsmith, a lot of traffic in front of the net. And finally, the last rebound, after some big blocks and some good saves, comes to Tyler Ennis. And he opens the scoring with his 8th of the playoffs for the Medicine Hat Tigers.
The OT hero in the Calgary series that clinched the deciding game of round 3 opens up the scoring here in game number 7. Bosch and Helm the assist at 9:06 of the opening period. It's a power play goal. And most of the Tiger goals of late in this series have come with 4 Giants on the ice. Wisnak puts the puck deep into Tiger territory. Now Baldwin gets possession. Baldwin out of his own zone. He shoots it in. Well, as we mentioned, they're 12-0 when they score first in these playoffs. They're 51-5 when you combine regular season and playoffs when scoring first, as this puck goes out of play behind Keatley.
Well, Tyson Sexsmith did all he could to stay in there and keep his positioning. He got help from his defenseman. But one of the keys with these smaller guys, and again, I talked about that before, Bosch and Ennis, 2 of the smaller guys, you just got to get position on them. You've got to box them out. They'll make you pay.
And we'll be back with lots more of Game 7 on Shaw right after this.
You know, you got a couple problems when you're Vancouver. You've got Bosch, you've got Hennis, you've got Helm with all kinds of pressure. But really watch Festerling fall in front of the net. Once he's down, his back is turned to Ennis. He can't possibly find him. 21 is out of it. That's Festerling. He's trying desperately all he can to get in the way of the shot. But that guy right there, Tyler Ennis, makes him pay for it and gives his Medicine Hat Tiger team a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, those scrambles, there's going to be some puck luck involved, and Krause ran into Blum in the crease area too, so they kind of got tangled up. And finally, the Tigers were able to hammer it home. Festerling puts the puck in. Rabbit gets possession. Rabbit trying to get it to Repic. Michael Sauer intercepts. His pass picked off by Lucic. Now Rabbit gets the puck. Rabbit trying to work it in front. Lucic throws a hard hit on the boards. Repic goes in there as well. Russell's going to try the other side. Blum pinches, and he is blocked. What a big hit. Stevens lines up Blum. Blum's back up again. Blum takes a shot, and that's knocked down in front of the net. Keatley did not see that shot through traffic. He put out his glove. And here's Lowry on the breakaway. Puts it over top the net. Oh, everybody stood up here in Medicine Hat thinking that was going to be the big 2-0 goal as Lowry found himself behind the Vancouver defense, and he tried to go top shelf, but he missed. And this game remains 1-0. Giants trying to get it out. That's Zaber who gloves it ahead. Benfeld knocks it down. Puck shot back into Giant territory. This time Helm will give chase. He knocks Festerling off the puck, but Boma gets it. And he taps it in, but he's on his own side of center, so that's icing as we send it down to Barry Strader.
Thanks very much, Dan. I am joined by the goaltending coach of the Medicine Hat Tigers, Eli Wilson. Eli, first of all, what have been your impressions of Matt Keatley throughout the playoffs?
You know, obviously he's been a leader on our team, and he's showed up every night. And one thing that's been a key with Matt is he's followed suspect games with real strong games and not allowed too many teams to get ahead on us early, and has always held us in at the end of the game, and he's played very well throughout the whole playoffs.
You've also been doing some work with the Ottawa Senators and Ray Emery and traveling back and forth throughout the playoffs. How about your work with the Senators and what a great job Ray Emery has done for them?
You know, I was talking to Brian Murray yesterday, and he said, you know, he's emerged as one of their best players and probably the most improved player on their hockey club. And he was really dedicated last summer and doing a lot of work for himself in the off-season and preparing himself for the season. And his mental preparation is second to none, and his skills are just following that. So he's really leading that team to an excellent run in the playoffs, and you know, hopefully into the Stanley Cup and bring home a Stanley Cup.
Thanks very much, Eli. Enjoy the rest of the game.
Thank you so much.
Let's go back to Bill and Dan.
All right. Stanley Cup's the last thing on these guys' minds right now. It's the Western Hockey League Championship Series on the line. Game 7 as that shot is tapped off or tipped off the target. Repick and Rabbit. Rabbit gets it back to Thielen. Thielen can't hold the puck in. Now the puck goes in front of the net for Rabbit. He can't get possession. Baldwin has it. Baldwin knocks it off the boards, and the puck comes out to the center ice area. Regner shoots the puck back in again. Michael Sauer. Here's Repick. Here's Krause. And his shot goes off the heel of his stick, went wide. Wright takes a shot. That doesn't reach the net. Wright again following it up with Krause. J.D. Watts in front. There's a pass, and what a save! What a great save by Matt Keatley. He came over and he read it, and he stopped J.D. Watt right on the doorstep. It's still 1-0 Tigers. Puck shot back in. Sexsmith. Now Mickelson coming out for Vancouver. Mickelson gets the puck up for Wright. Russell sidestepping the check by J.D. Watt. He felt it coming. Oh, did he ever. He just said, I'll leave the puck there, let J.D. come by me, and then I'll get back to that rubber disc. Dane Todd out here in the neutral zone. Now Michael Sauer will go back to chase it down.
That's that built-in Raider, isn't it?
Yeah. This time Mahachik flattens Russell. Russell looks up at the ref afterwards, wondering why the arm wasn't in the air. Here's Todd shooting. That went wide, and one of the Tiger players, Stevens, cruised right through the crease, and he got a piece of Sexsmith. So Sexsmith wasn't too happy about that. Meantime, Dorsett back of the net. There's Glass, back for Dorsett. Comes over here to Dane Todd. Back for Dorsett as the Tigers get the cycle game going. Stevens, arm in the air this time. We'll have a penalty on Vancouver as Dorsett was knocked off stride. Dorsett gets possession again, maintaining it, throwing it in front, and it's tapped off his stick. And we're going to get a holding penalty on Vancouver. Tigers going to their second power play.
This is the best chance the Giants have had all game, and it's a pretty one. James Wright, he's playing his best hockey. A 16-year-old gets the cycle going and then makes this backhand pass to J.D. Watt right there. And how quickly Keatley got over from one post to the other on the play in the Vancouver Giants zone. There's a penalty being called. It goes to Mario Bliznak. He makes contact right there, takes his hand off his stick. And that often is an invitation to put some kind of hold on a player that you're checking.
Second power play, as we mentioned, the Tigers cash in the first time as Michael Sauer takes that shot, and that's knocked down. The Giants had 2 short-handed goals last night in game number 6, including the game-tying goal, 3-3 in the third, which then led on the same power play to the Helm game winner. Only 35 seconds after the Giants had tied the game. Thielen knocks the puck to the line, but not out. Schlemko puts the puck back of the net. Ragnar gets possession and shoots it down the ice.
When you're killing penalties, boy, it really does put pressure on your defense more than anybody else in your own zone to make good plays with the puck.
Russell tripped up and there'll be another penalty. How about that? A two-man short situation. That one I guess you have to call. The Giants are going to say the first one was a little bit iffy in a game 7, but that's what happens. The next one's pretty obvious, and suddenly it's a golden opportunity for the Tigers.
Chris Russell has that great first step. He gets it to full speed almost immediately. And he does such a good job of coming up the ice with the puck. Spencer Mahachuk does not like the call against himself. I don't think he's got any argument on the call being a trip. He's not happy he's put his team two men short.
Tigers had 2 long two-man advantages in Vancouver that they didn't cash in on in the same game. Let's see how they do here. They're able to keep it in the first time, but it's sent down by Krause, who does a nice job penalty killing. So does Festerling. Krause is replaced, and up front now it's Zaber and McArdle, and then the only defenseman out there is Festerling. Todd brings the puck in over the line. Todd has Stevens with him. Dorsett back to the net. Now it comes back to the blue line. Schlemko. He and Russell switch places. Russell plays the puck down low to Stevens. Stevens bodied off the puck by Festerling. Puck squirts free, takes a Vancouver bounce, and it goes all the way down the ice. You know what? Keatley got to be somewhat sharp on that long shot down the ice. First penalty over, and now the Tigers are offside with 52 seconds left in the Mahachuk minor.
David Schlemko, those 3 assists last night. He leads the Tigers in scoring against Vancouver with 5 points. You know, he's such an example, I think, of the Medicine Hat defense in that as a group, I would say they're real solid as opposed to dynamic. I mean, Russell might fit that dynamic scale, but with Vancouver, I think you got a little bit more of a dynamic type of defenseman out there. This Medicine Hat team is real solid behind the blue line.
Another long shot on Keatley, a bouncer that he stops. 35 seconds to go in the power play as Helm hits the blue line. Helm throwing it in front. Here's Ennis. Ennis putting on those brakes, plays it back to Gord Baldwin. Now Michael Sauer up high here to Helm, over to Baldwin. Helm hits to the front of the net as Baldwin shoots, it's blocked, and the Giants clear it out. Went off a stick and out of play at the Vancouver bench.
Well, there's still 16 seconds left in this this one-man advantage now. Real important for Vancouver to get out of this. Sometimes you get a big lift when your team can kill these two-man advantages off, especially in a hostile environment like we've talked about here. Not surprised this is such a close checking series as a whole, Dan. There wasn't 100-point man in the WHL this year. There wasn't 150 goal scorer in the league this year. The Ontario League had 900-point men. The Quebec had 9. Expect this to be very close checking. That's what it is.
Here's Krause in over the line. Shot. That's knocked down by Keatley. Penalty over. Vancouver survives another two-man disadvantage in this series. They did score the first goal of the game on the power play, but they'll probably be a little upset they couldn't extend their lead with a long two-man advantage.
Now, the last Game 7 for the WHL title, we've talked about that, was back in 1994. It was the Kamloops Blazers with Don Hay as the coach. They beat Saskatoon and went on to win the Memorial Cup that year. So certainly Don Hay knows a little thing or two about Game 7s. Keeping his team not too high, not too low. You never get too high after a win. You don't want to get too low after a loss. Stay nice and calm. Just get the job done.
In the Tigers' 37 years in the league, this is their 10th Game 7, and they are 6-3 over the years. And since the 03 playoffs, they have a record of 2-1 in these deciding games. Thielen putting the puck back in the net for Wacey Rabbit. 2.5 minutes to go in this first period. Grant over on the far side, trying to move the puck up. Lowry forcing it out to the neutral zone. Thielen shoots it back in again. Keatley leaves it back of the net for Russell. Russell, 69 points this year, 45 of them on the power play. There's Rumpel putting one wide. Now Stevens puts it back to the net. Mickelson couldn't reach it there. Schlemko pinches in, gets the puck, comes off the boards with it. Then he lost it, and here comes Lucic. Lucic, lead pass up for Repik. He'll backhand it in and head to the bench on a line change. Under 2 minutes to go in the opening period. 1-0 Tigers. Power play goal by Ennis at 9:06. Mickelson starts out slowly. Has Blum right there to take that pass. Blum got it up to McArdle. Mahachik trying to follow up. McArdle does. Nothing but Tigers in front of that shot. And here's Helm quickly. Helm in over the line with Jared Sauer. Helm puts it wide of the net. Blum gets possession. Gets it to the line and out. Mahachik trying to check Glass. Mahachik couldn't get it. Here comes Grant. Grant for Helm. Helm couldn't get the shot. Glass pinching. Mahachik chops it out. Exactly a minute to go in the opening period of game number 7. Tigers making a change. Vancouver doing the same thing. Russell. Lead pass. Ennis tips it in. Thielen gobbles it up. He'll start back with Krause. Krause got it to Wright. Wright shoots it in. Keatley will play it around these near boards. Wright trying to get possession, but Rumpel's getting it out for the Tigers, and then he's hit on these near boards by Wright. And we'll get a face-off in the neutral zone.
We talked about the Medicine Hat defense. Well, what about the Vancouver Giant defense? They're a very solid group back there. They're playing without Cody Francis tonight, but they do have significant number of players there that can get the job done. Look at that plus-minus of the playoffs. What a group. Terrific commitment to defense as well as all that offense that they contribute for Don Hayes' club. Franson left in game number 4. Didn't play the third period that night and has missed games 5, 6, and now game number 7. Well, maybe Dorsett actually did his job against Cody Franson. That was that hit from behind that was a penalty, but Cody Franson's never been the same, certainly in this series after that hit by Dorsett in Vancouver. Dying seconds of the opening period. The Tigers are going to take a 1-0 lead into the dressing room. They were outshot 10-7, but that might be slightly deceiving. Vancouver had some good chances. Keatley, he was strong in net on a couple point-blank opportunities by Vancouver. He was at his best without doubt on the J.D. Watt pad save that he made when Wright made that nice pass out of the corner. And I agree with you. 7 shots on goal for the Tigers. Probably 3 or 4 better scoring chances than Vancouver has gotten so far in this first period. All right, let's go downstairs to Dan Elliott.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. Great first period, as you said. Coming up in the first intermission, we'll hear from Vancouver Giant Milan Lucic about his thoughts through the first 20 minutes of play. We'll also hear what these guys had to say prior to tonight's game about playing in a Game 7. Plus, Medicine Hat news writer Colin Gallant will join me here ringside to discuss the Tigers' season to this point. Plus, of course, Dan and Bill will be back with highlights through 20 minutes of play. That's all coming up next right here on WHL Hockey on Shaw.
1-0, the Medicine Hat Tigers lead the Vancouver Giants after one period here in Game 7 of the Western Hockey League Finals. I'm joined by Milan Lucic of the Vancouver Giants. So far, what are your impressions of this game so far?
It's a high-intense game. The pace is really up there. Both teams really want to win, and I think for us, we got to be disciplined. We can't let them go on the power play, and we just got to find a way to get pucks and people at the net.
This is the first time the Vancouver Giants have ever been in a Game 7 in their franchise history. How are the nerves on the team right now?
I think the guys are handling pretty well. I think we're up for the challenge, and I think we know that the tempo is going to get picked up a notch, and I think we came out ready, and I think we got to be ready to come play and set the tone early in the second period.
You did have a few good scoring chances on Matt Keatley, especially early in the period. How do you start converting those into goals?
Biggest thing, we just got to bear down on those chances. You know, we can't let him be the star. We got to outwork him, and hopefully early in the second we can come out and outwork him and get to him.
All right, thanks, Milan. Good luck in the second.
All right, thanks a lot.
Milan Lucic, a draft pick of the Boston Bruins, and now let's go over to Dan Elliott.
All right, thanks a lot, Barry. Now, even after 18 years of NHL experience and 8 previous Game 7s under his belt, former Medicine Hat Tiger and current Vancouver Canuck Trevor Linden said he was so nervous before his ninth career Game 7, that of course versus Dallas in this year's NHL playoffs, that he was sick to his stomach until the drop of the puck. So just imagine these guys, just at the beginning of their career, how they felt prior to tonight's Game 7. Darren Helm's first goal of the series proved to be the winner in Game 6, sending the WHL final to a 7th and deciding game for the first time since 1994.
I think we're pretty confident if we play as well as we can. We have a good chance, but at the same end, we know Vancouver is going to be, it's the first time they've had their backs against the wall, so they're going to come out with their A+ game, and we got to just, I think, weather the storm right off the bat and go right after them.
We've all dreamt of it. We've all played the road hockey, score the game winner in Game 7. So it's 2 good teams going on. It's going to be a fun game.
Yeah, it doesn't get much better than that. I mean, we just got to go out and lay it on the line. Basically, you can't do anything now but put your heart and soul into it. I mean, it's one game, and we got to go out, play our best, and what happens, happens.
It's gonna be nuts. I think that's you live to play this Game 7s and for a championship, and obviously we both know we're going to the Memorial Cup, so it's for bragging rights, and this is something that you grow up dreaming about. So I think the Cream's going to rise to the top tomorrow, and hopefully all our top players play and everyone follows from there.
The Tigers are banking on their experience earlier in the playoffs to give them the upper hand. They were forced to a Game 7 in the first round by Red Deer.
It helps us out a little bit. I don't think they've been in this position, so we could hopefully use that experience to our advantage. But we know that one game experience isn't going to make a huge difference. They're going to be coming out flying. They're going to come out hitting. They want the winners as bad as we do. So we know it's going to be a tough game.
We've faced adversity before, and we know what to expect coming in. They're a great team. We feel we've got a great team, and I don't know. It's going to be a battle out there, but it's going to be a great game. On the flip side, this is the first time the Giants franchise has ever gone to a 7th game. Of the Vancouver players, only Kendall McArdle has played in a Game 7. He did it last year with Moose Jaw.
I think I've played 54 playoff games, never played in a Game 7, so it's exciting for me, just like it is for a young guy like James Ryder, Lance Boma. Like, we're all excited for this challenge. None of us have ever been here before, so it's going to be a fun battle.
Medicine Hat has one other advantage here in Game 7, the hometown crowd. Nothing like 4,000 screaming fans to spur you on, especially if the Tigers are able to get the first goal of the game.
Here's the centering pass, Schlepp goes, scores!
I think this is a great hockey arena. It's not a big crowd, but a very loud crowd, and they're all over you. So, that's now the 3-2-3 format's favoring them right now. So it's gonna be tough. But if we can get a lead and make the fans quiet at the start, that'd be very nice.
We're used to crazy rinks. I think last year we were in some crazy rinks, especially Moose Jaw final series, and Prince George this year was pretty crazy. So we're used to it. It's gonna be fun. And of course, the Tigers getting the first goal tonight, keeping the fans in this game 7 for sure. Now, of course, our coverage of the WHL doesn't end here with the final. We will be in Vancouver for the Memorial Cup. Following every Giants and Tigers game, we will have a 30-minute post-game show full of highlights, interviews, analysis, and guests. Check your local listings for more details. All right, time to take a quick break, but when we come back, Colin Glenn of the Medicine Hat News will stop by. We'll see you in 2 minutes' time. Some possible future Medicine Hat Tigers cheering on their hometown team right behind us here at the arena in Medicine Hat. Of course, the Tigers leading 1-0 after 1 period of play. Tyler Ennis scoring on the power play. I'm joined now by Colin Glenn of the Medicine Hat News. And Colin, maybe just get your impression of that first period of play. You've seen this series all the way through. Was that possibly Medicine Hat's best period of this series so far?
Well, I thought that their best period so far was probably period 1 in last game, and then 2 in the last game, and then 3 in the last game. And they seem to be building up, and you can tell they love to be home. They seem to have a lot more, just more zip and a little bit more room in this arena, which is actually kind of funny considering how much smaller it is than the Pacific Coliseum.
Well, it may be smaller, but you got to be honest. I mean, you got to tell us you're in here all the time. This crowd, I mean, it's just unbelievable tonight. Is this the loudest you've heard it?
Well, it's actually kind of surprised me. I mean, I think the fans here have been a little bit cynical over the last, well, not really cynical, maybe just a little bit spoiled. They've seen a lot of good hockey here in the last 4 years. Yeah. And, you know, you start to sit on your hands a little bit and that sort of thing. But coming back, you know, the two spontaneous sort of standing ovations in the pregame warm-ups, I think have really sort of set off the crowd and the mood for these games. And both teams, you know, come out flying.
Well, you've covered this team all year long. Obviously, this is where they wanted to be. I mean, did you expect them at the beginning of the season to be right here?
I think a lot. Well, I think they expected that they had a chance to be here. I think a lot of people probably expected them to be here. This team, I mean, they've been building for a little while, and I mean, last year they had I think a bit of a surprising season retooling. And there was a bit more sort of just a good feeling, a real sort of positive out of not much feeling. This year the team's got a bit more of the edge, a bit more of that killer instinct, and I think that they've thought they could be here right from training camp.
Well, they played Red Deer in a 7-game series in the first round. How do you think that series compared to this one here tonight, or just in general in the series?
Well, it's a little bit funny because the Giants and the Rebels, I think, are two teams that are probably disciplined enough to sort of stay on that really fine edge of you know, not running around, but at the same time playing really strong defensive positioning. And the Tigers have a tough time working around that. If you let them play, they'll play all day, and if you run around on them, they'll hurt you too.
Yeah, no, definitely. Now I got to ask you because you know, obviously coming into the series, a lot of people were saying, oh well, both are already in the Memorial Cup. This isn't that a big a deal. It's just a bit of formality. But from your point of view, I mean, not winning the WHL Championship, would that be a huge disappointment for the Tigers?
Well, I think no team wants to go to the Memorial Cup as a host, but no team wants to go as, you know, runner-up to the host. I mean, they don't have a very good record in these sort of tournaments when you arrive sort of with nothing on your resume. Quebec did it last year, and they actually came through and won, which is a real anomaly in history of the tournament.
Now, what do you think Medicine Hat has to do in the final 40 minutes here to maintain that lead and come out with a victory?
Well, I mean, they just got to pretty much stay with what they're doing and hope the Giants can adjust. I think we counted about 10 different line combinations from the Tigers, which is something new we've seen in this game compared to other games. And, I mean, they seem to have emotion on their side and building.
Well, it's one of those line combinations. Darren Helm playing there on the fourth line. He doesn't really, obviously he's had a little trouble in this series until Game 6 when he got the game-winning goal.
Oh, I don't think that's a demotion. I think that's probably a plan to sort of scatter some attention. He's a guy who hasn't had a lot of space and he's had no space and no time to really make plays through 5 games of this series. And, you know, frankly, he had no goals. And he was saying that, you know, this was his time to shine. He had to come out and really get on the score sheet for this team to win.
All right, well, thank you very much for taking some time here, Colin. Enjoy the rest of the game, and we'll see you at the Memorial Cup.
Definitely. Nice to hear you.
All right, time now for us here at WHL Central to thank Myers Norris Penny as a Western Hockey League prestige sponsor. All right, let's also have a quick look at the Memorial Cup schedule, might as well, in terms of the opener for both the Giants and Tigers. It all gets started this Friday. The Giants hosting the OHL champs, the Plymouth Whalers. That's Friday, May 18th, 6 p.m. Pacific start time. And the Tigers will get their first game the next day against the Q champions, the Lewiston Maniacs. They've won 26 of their last 27 games. That game goes at 1 o'clock Pacific on Saturday, 2 o'clock here in Medicine Hat. Well, obviously both teams looking forward to that, but first the task at hand, and that's Game 7 of the WHL Finals. We send it back up to Dan and Bill in the broadcast booth.
Thanks very much, Dan. By the way, Game 8 in this series will be a week from Wednesday. That'll be in the Memorial Cup. The Wednesday of the tournament week, these clubs will play again, and maybe again in the championship.
If they have anything left.
And it's nice they're going to get a break from one another. They get to play an OHL team. They get to play a Q team, and it'll be kind of very fast for these teams to try to get their minds off each other and prepare for something else. But, there's so much on the line here. And, Bill, we had 1 goal in the first period.
Yeah, and it's Tyler Ennis scoring a power play goal. It's his first against against Vancouver, and a couple breakdowns in front of the net. You'll have a look. This is defense to defense. Sauer gets the shot on net. There's going to be a massive scramble in front. Tyler Ennis is going to take position, 22 in front of the net, right there. Nobody checks him. He gets a couple whacks at it. Watch him come into your screen, right there. He stops, and Mitch Seaver skates right past him. There's 18, there's 22. He leaves them all alone, and then he shovels it in. Look what the action looked like around the front of the net, Dan. You're going to see all the black-shirted Vancouver Giants in there, and again, you'll see the puck come right off Festerling's leg right there. It comes right to Ennis, and through that whole mess, he gets it past the goaltender. This is a big save off J.D. Watt. Now watch undershoot, 20 White. He makes a mistake there and lets Watt get into the play. How about Chris Stevens? Big hit on Blum. Then he tries to block this shot right there. He does it, but he still gets up. He's in the center ice area. Stevens down. He turns around, maintains control of that puck, and sends Matt Lowry in on a breakaway. That was a great shift by 20-year-old Chris Stevens. That's the only scoring of the first period.
And the scoring play was Tyler Ennis, the 17-year-old from Edmonton, at 9:06 on the power play. Vancouver out shooting Medicine Hat by a margin of 10-7. It's the 84th game of the 07 WHL playoffs. Everything's on the line. The home team, by the way, has won 53 games this springtime. The Tigers are hoping to make it 54. Stay tuned, the second period coming up on Shaw. Alongside Bill Wilms, this is Dan Russell, and that is Chris Russell, the Medicine Hat Tigers captain, getting ready for the start of the second period. This is the 93rd game the Tigers have played, regular season and playoffs, and the 94th for the Vancouver Giants. Possible they'll get, well, obviously with the Memorial Cup, they'll get close to 100 each, if not on the number. As we start this second period, the teams are at full strength. Tigers lead at 1-0. There were 3 power plays in the first period. All 3 were Medicine Hat power plays. Blum goes back to get it, but it's icing called on the Tigers.
This kind of series, this kind of a game, you're not going to get a whole lot of scoring chances, so what really has to happen, you've got to bear down on it. And you know, it's easier said than done. Bearing down on a scoring chance is a lot easier if you're not tense. You got to relax, but still bear down, and that isn't the easiest thing to do when so much is on the line.
Regner, long shot, low, just missed the target. Thielen follows up. That's knocked down in front of the net. Watt turns and puts it to the corner. Regner trying to pinch to keep it in, but Undershoot has it for the Tigers. Kevin Undershoot gets it out to center. Chasing it there is Scott Wasden. Scott Wasden on the end boards, does some good work. Jared Sauer picks up the puck, and J.D. Watt trips him. There'll be another power play to Medicine Hat. Team-time Glass with the puck. The Giants looked like they stopped playing there for a half a second, thinking the whistle had already gone. And all of a sudden in Game 7, the power plays favor the home team 4-0.
Well, this one you take a good look at. This is just a good job that Medicine Hat does on the forecheck. Wasden, and then Sauer follows up. They should never maintain possession of that puck. If you're a Vancouver Giant coaching staff, you're saying there's no way that you can give up that puck in that situation. A little turn, and J.D. Watt gets a stick in the legs of the Tiger and sits in the box for tripping.
Tigers working it around on this power play. They had a 2-man advantage as well in this hockey game. And Rabbit starts out. Shoots it in from center. And it might be a good idea for the Tigers to score, because I'd be shocked if the power plays end up one-sided in a Game 7. Meantime, Zaber trips his man and kind of gets away with it. Baldwin, cross ice to Michael Sauer. He shoots it in. Blum on these near boards, gets the puck up. Zaber up for Lucic. Lucic takes that shot. That's knocked down. Tigers, Helm stick handles right past Mahachik in the slot. That took a lot of confidence. Here's Helm going in hard. Throws it in front, and Mahachik gets the puck. Starts back for the Giants. He'll be by himself because Lucic peels off, goes to the bench. Keatley plays it over here to Russell. Russell over on that far side. Schlemko now. Again, Russell with his feet always moving. Russell takes going to the point. Now Dane Todd back to Schlemko. Schlemko over to Russell. Russell throws it at the net, and Sexsmith makes the save. Bliznak skates out with it for Vancouver. His long shot deflects to the corner. Half a minute to go in the Watt penalty. Schlemko starts back. 1-0 Tigers early in the second period. Schlemko over on the far side. Mickelson chopping at it. McArdle gets it up for Kraus. Here's a break short-handed. Kraus with McArdle. Kraus for McArdle! Off the side of the net. Centering pass. Oh! In front of the net was Festerling, and Kraus didn't see him. He had a wide open net. There's a centering pass again for McArdle, and he couldn't get a stick on it. Back the other way. Here comes Undershoot. Undershoot hits the line, shoots it, and Sexsmith takes it in the midsection, and he holds on to stop the play.
Boy, is there anybody any quicker than Kendall McArdle? You look where he is right there. He's back at the half wall. That puck's way ahead to Timmy Kraus. He's waiting, and somehow McArdle gets from that far corner, gets all the way up the ice, and beats Trevor Glass for a redirect towards the net.
And if Kraus would have looked in front of the net, Festerling on the rebound was wide open, and Keatley was nowhere near the goal, but Kraus elected to go back to the other corner. He just didn't see Festerling.
He had his hands full waiting for McArdle to come up the ice.
Russell. Cross ice to Michael Sauer. Up for Grant, who tips it into Vancouver territory. Teams at full strength now. Medicine Hat now 1 for 4 tonight. On the power play, 6 for 39 in the series. Vancouver still has not had a chance on the man advantage tonight. Repping. Lucic puts the puck in. He and Bosch will collide. Bosch, good job to keep Lucic to the outside, but Lucic maintains possession. Now it's Rabbit. He and Russell will battle. Repic goes in to help out. Russell plays it up the boards, and it's tapped out by Grant. It goes down the ice. A.J. Phelan collects it, and he'll calm things down back at the Vancouver goal. Past the 4-minute mark, second period. The shots are dead even, 10-10. Tigers flip the puck back out. Mickelson back to it, shooting around these near boards. Cunningham. He couldn't maintain possession. Festerling gloves it down, and away he goes. Festerling on his backhand, throws it at Keatley. Glass picks up the rebound. Now Rumpel tying up his man. Big collision there. Fans want another Vancouver penalty. Referee say play on. Here comes Boma. Boma with Zaber. Boma with Cunningham. Can't get either one of them the puck. Good defensive play there. Cunningham again. Now it's Boma. Boma collecting the puck. Throwing it in front of the net. Keatley's there. A big scramble. The puck's still loose. And finally a whistle. And apparently the faceoff's going to come outside the blue line. Not sure why, but there was a big scramble to the side there, and Keatley holds it out.
One of the reasons is that Festerling does such a good job of taking that puck in. He gets the shot. Now you got a defense on the forecheck. Festerling stays in there. Boma's in there as well, and that puck hung around just long enough for Vancouver to get it back on a wraparound. Boma trying desperately to get that puck short side. Looks like Keatley just in that corner post area keeps it there. Faceoff comes just outside the blue line.
Baldwin inside his line has trouble. Fell. Bliznak throws it in front, and it comes back to Blum. Blum plays it to McArdle. It's the Giants now playing with some desperation, or at least playing with a little more. And that's hard to imagine. There's more to give. Back of the net, Mahachik. Now Bliznak. Now Mahachik. He's hit by Baldwin. Shot on goal, save. Another shot, sharp angle. Wrap around, save Keatley. Another one. Bliznak right on the doorstep. And the Medicine Hat Tiger goaltender, he's stopping everything right now.
Well, we'll show you what he's stopping. He's been absolutely a pillar back there. Vancouver trying desperately to get wraparounds, get that puck in the crease area. Tigers trying to keep it to the outside. This is the forecheck that when you're playing Vancouver, you got to contend with. But you see Mahachuk with that shot down low. take a look from this angle. That's Keatley with a great pad save to the other side, covering the post area. Just a lot of wraparound chances. Nothing from the slot area. I think Vancouver, to be successful, to beat that guy right there, they've got to get shots from the slot area.
6'2" Keatley needed all that body to get over there, and we have a Medicine Hat penalty on the play. Dorsett in the box, and I didn't see what the call was, but it comes at 5:31, and Vancouver will go to their first power play of Game 7.
Yeah, Vancouver power play last night was 1 for 3. They're 8 for 30 in the series.
And they win the face-off as they announce the Dorsett penalty. It's a roughing penalty on Dorsett as Rabbit plays it back to Blum. Blum back to Rabbit. Rabbit shot knocked down by Michael Sauer, who also checks Lucic off the puck and then flips it off the far glass. Michael Sauer will get it back again. Sauer tying up the puck back of the net. Rabbit trying to dig it free. He does. Thielen. Repic on the far boards. Blum sneaking in. There's the pass. Doesn't get there. Rebound, score! Rabbit ties it on the power play. Game 7 is tied 1-1 at 7:07 of the second period.
You just felt it was a matter of time because Vancouver had so much pressure. Then they ended up getting that power play with Dorsett in the box. Repic sets his play up. He's at the half wall in the offensive zone. He has his head up. He just feels the puck. Look at that. He doesn't even look down at the puck. Gets the shot. Tries to get Blum back door. Far right of your screen is where Blum's going to come in. That puck then ended up on Rabbit's stick. And the key there for Rabbit is to go upstairs. He had to go up under the crossbar to beat Keatley from that position. But it was, again, a good play by Repic to slow things down at the half wall and make something happen in the offensive zone.
Repic and Thielen get the assist on the power play goal. And now the Tigers are called for icing the puck. So Vancouver cashes in just like Medicine Hat did on their very first power play of Game 7.
Well, again, all we see there is the attempted backdoor feed from Repic to, a defenseman there, Blum, 7 going to the net. And they just stayed with it. Sometimes you got to be real lucky to get a bounce in front of that net, and Rabbit got a good one to his stick.
And there's WHL Rabbit, his 11th of the playoffs. On the ensuing faceoff, Keatley makes another save, so they'll do it again.
And again, I hearken to the trade. McCardle 11 goals and Rabbit 11 goals. Dan, these were players acquired by Vancouver at the trade deadline. You don't think those have been two excellent acquisitions when you get 22 goals between them in the playoffs?
Indeed. And I've marveled at the Michael Sauer acquisition for Medicine Hat. They got him from Portland, not at the deadline, but not too much before that. He's been a great acquisition. Here's Baldwin at the line. Baldwin puts the puck back at the net. Mickelson gets possession. Mickelson plays it around these near boards. Watt can't reach it. Lowry's there. Stevens heads to the front of the net, but they can't get him the puck. Baldwin can't keep it in, and here's a break for Vancouver right with Watt. Watt faking it, shooting it, and having it blocked. Tigers get it and shoot it back out to center ice. Here's Blum again. He'll flip the puck in. And back comes Todd. He's stripped of the puck. Right, couldn't reach it. And there's just a lot of battling for the puck now, and we'll see who can get in set up again. Here's Stevens. Back towards the line it goes. Todd gets it. Now Dorsett has it. Stevens in front, can't collect it. Bliznak gets the puck. Bliznak trying to work along the boards. Comes back to Todd, though. Todd dumps it to the corner. Another battle for it. It'll be a million more before this game is over. Now here's a break the other way. Lucic, or McCardle rather, going in hard. McCardle is stopped by Keatley as he blew away from his own blue line, and Keatley stood tall once more.
Well, this is twice that Kendall McCardle has skated from that zone right there. One time it was to take a pass. This time it was to get the puck, get it on the net. He had only one thing in mind at that point. He knows he's running out of space right there. It's a pretty good back check by Chris Russell. He can certainly close the gap. Russell is one of those defensemen that will give McCardle all he can handle on a breakaway like that. Forced that shot up high, and Keatley with a save.
Turnaround shot from the faceoff goes wide of the net. Lucic will dump it in front of the net. Here's Repic, a is stopped by Keatley again as it took a funny hop and it came right in front to Repic, and Keatley continues to stand so tall in that Medicine Hat goal with many point-blank saves.
I think Repic makes this happen, shooting it from the top of the face-off circle, and then somehow that puck comes in off a bad bounce. As you said, these boards so lively. Boy, how quickly the Tigers got to change direction there, and Repic, with only the one chance, was moved out of the play nicely after that original chance. But again, a nice save by goaltender Keatley.
And now Sexsmith has to play the puck to Thielen. I asked you earlier today, these teams have been battling for 2 weeks. Can they step it up one more notch for a Game 7, Bill? It appears they are.
Yeah, they just amaze me. That's just that desire to will, that desire to win. That's all it is. They are so proud. Both of these teams feel that WHL Championship is so important to them. Hey, next week the Memorial Cup is not even on the mind of these guys.
Rabbit at his own line. Now Lucic, now Repic going in hard. Rabbit's with him. Repic shoots, and again Keatley makes a big save. Right now it's Keatley who's really holding in the Tigers. Rabbit. Now Lucic in the corner. Russell trying to check him. Vancouver making a change. Lucic maintains possession. Now it goes to Boma. Boma all tied up. But again, Vancouver maintaining possession of the puck. It's Festerling at the line. His shot is knocked down by Russell, who clears it off the boards back into Vancouver territory. Matt Keatley has made 4 or 5 big saves here in the second period. He's the biggest reason this game is still 1-1. Mickelson from inside his own line. Seibert plays it to the open wing. Benfeld's going to get there first. Evander Kane out there for his first shift of this second period. That's him, number 9, with the puck, and that's him being threatened by Stevens. But Boma starts back. Boma, 1-on-3, easily stripped of the puck. Dorsett is lined up. Oh, there was Kane trying to make his presence felt. And he came all the way from one blue line to the other to line up Dorsett. And now we see Wright lining up Schlemko, who makes a good pivot there to avoid that one. And it's shot into Vancouver territory. Thielen with the puck. Thielen from back of the goal. Now Regner. And now A.J. Thielen. His pass picked off Schlemko. Puts the puck back into Vancouver territory. Undershoot. He and Regner battling for it. Jared Sauer has the puck. J.D. Watt will try his luck. Instead, Russell, nice pinch, puts it back in the net, but Krause has it. Krause dishes it back. Thielen has it. Russell was dumped out at the line. I didn't see it, but I heard the fans. They weren't happy.
Dan, we're halfway through this hockey game, and I want to take my headset off and just listen to this crowd some of the time. Believe me, it's unbearable, this noise in here.
Jonathan Blum. Long pass, Glass. He intercepts. Remember Glass, he was the OT hero back in game number 3. That seems like a long time ago. Here comes Helm. Helm dishes it off. Shot on goal, stopped by Sexsmith, and he holds on to stop the play. Under 9 minutes to go. Second period, game 7. Everything still on the line. You're watching the Western Hockey League Finals on Shaw.
Welcome back to Medicine Hat. It is 1-1 in the second period. I'm joined by Craig Bonner, assistant coach and assistant GM for the Vancouver Giants. Is this game going as you expected so far?
Yeah, I thought we did a pretty good job weathering the storm in the first, and I think we've come out so far with a real good start to the second period. And as long as we stay 5-on-5, we can have some success against these guys, and we've done that so far in the second period.
This is the first time the Vancouver Giants have ever played a 7th game of a playoff series. How do you think the guys are handling that?
I think we're going good. I think the guys are excited. This is what you talk about as a kid in road hockey. Game 7, scoring the winner, and that's what it's all about.
How about the play of your team in the second period? You're getting some good scoring opportunities, but Matt Keatley has really done a good job shutting the door.
Yeah, we have to keep going to the net and getting those chances. Keep shooting the puck, and eventually they'll go in.
Thanks, Craig. Good luck the rest of the game.
No problem.
Let's go back to Dan.
In the second period, Vancouver's outshot Medicine Hat so far 7-4. And he talked about that game-winning goal that you dream of in road hockey. Well, somebody still has that one on their stick tonight. We know that. In a 1-1 tie. Mahachik and McArdle working along these near boards. Comes back to Bliznak. His shot knocked down by Rumpel. Glass in the corner. He and Mahachik. battling. Here's Festerling, rolling puck shot. That went off the glove. Here's Mahachik from back of the net. Tries a wraparound. Now he tries a turnaround shot. And that went off the target. And that was great defensive work again by Glass. There's Benfield. And there's Glass. And he dishes it off nicely to Rumpel. And the Tigers are able to get it out. It's put in delayed offside, but following it up is Bosch. He's stripped of the puck by McArdle. Festerling feeds Mahachik, who takes that shot right on Keatley, and he holds on.
Well, this is what the Lions have done in this game, or in this series rather, so far. You take a look at the balance. Their top two lines. You got McArdle, Mahachuk from one line. You got Repik, Rabic, and Lucic, the entire line for Vancouver right there, and that's a line that scored tonight. Rabbit has tied this game at 1, but a lot of offense there from those top 5 guys.
Giants on the face-off, take a shot just wide of the net. They drew it back to Repik, just like you would draw it up on the clipboard, and they just fired it wide. Another chance for Vancouver, this time from back of the net. Lucic trying to work it in front, could not. Intercepted, shot down the ice by the Tigers. And do you feel right now what Craig Bonner was saying, that the Giants at 5-on-5 look to be the better team right now, and it's Keatley holding in the Tigers?
Well, it is Keatley. He's getting better as this game goes on. His home record at the arena here in Medicine Hat is 10-2. His home goals against average is 1.49. And how about that .942 save percentage he has right here at the Medicine Hat Arena? Very confident, very calm. And you know what? I like the save selections that both goalies make. They make the right type of save for the shot that has, the save that has to be made. And their rebound control has been excellent.
Offensive zone face-off for Vancouver. McArdle winning it, but the Tigers jump on the puck and they get it out. Schlemko's going to have to go back of his net for Baldwin, and Mahachik, he goes in to force the puck free again. Bliznak gets it. He sidesteps the check, feeds it to McArdle. His stick is lifted, and that's a good job by Stevens to get that puck out and roll it back into Vancouver territory. Dane Todd will give chase there. Thielen hits him. Thielen comes up with the puck, plays it around to McArdle. McArdle is hit by Dorsett. They get tangled up for the umpteenth time in this series. Here comes Dorsett going in hard. Dorsett. Regner took him down, and Stevens fanned on the follow-up shot. And the Tigers have to go back into their own zone to collect the puck. There'll be no icing here as Russell gets it. Russell hit by Mahachik. As he left it for Michael Sauer, he plays it around the boards. Intercepted. Here's Boma. Here's Ziver back to Boma. His shot is stopped by the last defenseman back. And that was a great defensive play by Russell, showing why, in part, he's the defenseman of the year in the Western League.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's got to get in position real quick to make this play. And Russell, we've said before, not the biggest guy, but you got to use position. You got to play angles and everything well. Look at him right there. He throws himself right in front of the shot by Boma. That is very solid defensive play. Little tap pass. It's exactly what you want to get. That puck doesn't even get near Keatley. Boma got closer to Keatley there than the puck did.
We've talked since the beginning of the series how these teams just don't like to lose. Yeah. Medicine Hat has won 5 straight series. Vancouver has won 7 straight series. They've combined to win 12 straight. They don't like shaking hands at the end as a loser. And somebody's going to have to do that here tonight as it goes offside. The last team to beat Medicine Hat was the Moose Jaw Warriors. And the last team to beat Vancouver in a playoff series was the Kelowna Rockets.
A team's really keen on winning. This is a second consecutive WHL Championship series for Vancouver. 13 players from last year's team playing. 8 Medicine Hat Tigers, Dan, this year are playing their first ever WHL playoffs. So it doesn't matter what the background of these guys are. One thing about the coaching staff of both teams, when you get those new guys in, the Bantam drafts that come up and join your hockey club, you got to break them into a winning tradition right away.
Keatley blocks the puck back to the net, goes high around the boards. Schlemko trying to get it out, cannot. By the way, it was 20 years ago the Tigers won games 6 and 7 in their own rink against Portland. 20 years ago. They're hoping history can repeat itself as the '87 final was played in the same way, with the Tigers needing 2 home wins to win the title.
Jacob Rumpel there has been a nice addition to this team. We talked about him missing so much of the playoffs with a broken hand, and he's coming. It's tough to get into game shape, but he's another one of those smaller guys that opposing defensemen often fantasize about nailing to the wall, and you seem to never get it done.
From the faceoff, Repik again is stopped by Keatley. That's about the 5th time in this period the Giants have cleanly won a faceoff, and the 2nd time Repik's had a good chance right from a faceoff.
Boy, he just toes that puck in, cradle toes it, and then gets that quick shot away. Rabbit with that neat little faceoff win. That's right. It's twice in a row. You got to figure now. Right now, the Tigers are talking about who's going to go out there and get Repik should that happen again. Now they got him covered.
This time Rabbit tries to force it to Lucic. Instead it comes back to Festerling. Long shot that deflects off the target. Giants carrying the play here in the 2nd period, but it's still 1-1 as Mickelson's weak shot is knocked down by Russell. Body's flying at the side of the net, and I think the net's been knocked off its support. No penalties, but we do have a face-off because the net is off its support.
This is what the series has looked like so far. Close scoring, except for those 2 games in Vancouver, 4-0, 3-0.
Total goals now 16-11 Vancouver.
1-1 here with 5:34 left in the 2nd period. You do get the feeling, as everybody in the building does, everybody in the building, I mean, everybody knows the next goal, if it's scored in the next 5 minutes and 31 seconds, could be the deciding goal.
And both teams have outstanding records when they take a lead into the 3rd period during the 07 playoffs. Undershoot, trying to tap it out. Vancouver spending a lot of zone time down here, and there's a long shot. Keatley makes another save. Shots now 20-11 for Vancouver. They've had 10 this period. Tigers have had 4 shots on goal. They've only had 2 periods in the entire series where they've hit double figures on the shot clock. Mickelson.
Some of the crowd, a little bit of a sarcastic cheer for that shot on Sexsmith. Hasn't been one for a while.
Well, they sense their team's being outplayed here in the 2nd period. It's Benfield knocking down the puck with a high stick, and we'll get a face-off in Tiger territory.
People marvel at the good positioning of Tyson Sexsmith, making so many of those saves. That, you know, really, Dad, if you're in poor position making the first save, you know, you'll likely make that save, but boy, do you have to push hard to get back into position for that 2nd save. And you see both goaltenders tonight. In fact, in this whole series, I haven't seen any floundering. There hasn't been guys wailing around on the ice. They've been so solid, so square to the puck.
Thielen shot, that's deflected to the corner. Now to this near corner, Glass and Boma will battle. Helm flips it out back into Vancouver territory. Thielen. His pass misses Boma. Now here's Helm cutting in. Helm's shot is deflected off the screen behind Sexsmith.
This is Helm now getting the puck, trying to get something going on the offense, but you know, when you're having trouble penetrating the offensive zone, you want to get it in there. Watch this. The space is taken away from you in a real hurry by a stick check. That's always the goaltender's best friend. There it is. Look, 2 sticks reach in there, and that puck goes over the glass at the end boards, and the face-off just inside the Vancouver zone.
4:14 to go in the 2nd period. If you're just joining us, Medicine Hat scored in the 1st period on a power play. Tyler Ennis. Vancouver tied it on a power play here in the 2nd. Wasey Rabbit. Speaking of which, that's Rabbit shooting it in, and it's Repik giving chase. Russell gets there first. Dorsett has room on the far side. Dorsett over here for Stevens, but it tips off his stick and then off the glass, and then Blum plays it, but following up is Dorsett. Repik and he battle. Stevens comes up with the loose puck, comes back towards the line. Still loose there in the slot area, and it can always take a hop for the Tigers there. And then they'd have a good chance to score, and here is that chance, and it's Todd taking a whack at it, and Sexsmith gets down low to make the save, and that's one of the rare scoring chances the Tigers have had in this period.
Yeah, there haven't been many chances or flurries around that net in the last little while, but this is one of them. And guess who is the guy that makes it happen? Chris Russell takes that puck into the offensive zone, slides along the wall, gets past his check. Once it gets to the front of the net, there's a scramble for it, and the guys that you want to get in there, Dorsett, Stevens, Helm, they're all around that situation right there trying to get that puck in. Excuse me, actually it's Dane Todd in there trying to get that puck past the goaltender.
Offensive zone faceoff won by the Tigers, but Schlemko couldn't get the shot, and Mickelson flips it out for Wright. Wright with Watt. Takes a shot. Keatley makes the save up high. There's a rebound sitting there, but it's swept away. I think that high shot kind of surprised Keatley, just how high and how hard it was. Nicholson up for J.D. Watt. Here's Wright again. Wright trying to get the puck back again. Puts the puck behind the net. Watt can't get it there. Here's Undershoot. Undershoot. Over on the far side, Jared Sauer able to tap it out to the neutral zone. Regner. Now McArdle dumps it back of the net. Regner's got a lot of room to move it, but he puts on the brakes, and he'll start from behind Sexsmith. 2.5 minutes to go in the second period. Krause takes the pass off his skates, and that might be costly. Here comes Wasden, shooting, saved by Sexsmith. Grant looking for the rebound, couldn't get a shot away. Grant battling back of the net. Regner goes in to hit Grant. Again the battle, Wasden in there. Wasden and Grant having a great shift here for Medicine Hat. Grant from back of the net, trying to work it in front. Krause goes down, but he can't maintain possession. Helm goes right in front of the net, and Sexsmith cut it off and held the puck and freezes it.
Dan, it all starts with Watt mishandling the puck. He took it in his skates, and then Wasden made him pay for it. Look for it. He can't get it. He can't find it. That puck never hits the stick. Wasden gets it on the net. Big pad saved by Sexsmith. That ended. That's it. You know, start fishing for that puck in that zone. You're out of position. And this play ends with Helm cutting out of the corner right to the front of the net, forcing Sexsmith to make his best save of the period.
And all of a sudden the Tigers have had the puck down here for the last couple of minutes. Boma, though, sends it down the ice. Will it be far enough for icing? No. Russell hustles it down, and he'll slow it down.
That's what I love about this game, the surges that both teams are able to exert.
Helm going right in on goal. He hit the post. Helm hit the post. What a great rush by Darren Helm, and he almost had the 2-1 goal there. And meantime, Keatley has it roll on to him, and he'll freeze it. And the Tigers were a goalpost/crossbar away from taking a late second period lead.
Well, this time Chris Russell says, I'm not going to go coast to coast. I'll give it to Darren Helm. Sit back and enjoy this one, folks. This is pretty. Blum hasn't got a chance to make that play on Helm. Watch where the puck hits. This game stays 1-1 with 1:37 left second period.
Helm's first point of the playoffs finals was last night. He scored the game-winning goal, and he had an assist on the first marker here tonight. Meantime, Lucic wrap around attempt. They score! The Giants have taken a 2-1 lead, and it's Michael Repik, the recipient of the wraparound. Lucic set it up, so moments after Helm hits the crossbar, it's the Giants who take a late second period lead here in Game 7.
They've been good in the face-off circle. Wacy Rabbit has won a lot of draws. That was probably a tie, but this is Lucic at his best. You've got to force him to the outside. If you let Lucic beat you on this wraparound right here, then you better pay attention to who's behind you in front of the net. And there is Baldwin. Hasn't got a clue at that point where Michael Repik is, and once Baldwin loses him, Repik makes him pay.
Repik with his 10th of the playoffs. And we'll see if there's a second assist. It's Wacy Rabbit who gets the second assist. And here's Russell, long shot! Oh, and Dennis just failed to redirect it. The Tigers almost answered right back. Repik back for Lucic. Now here's Ennis. He's by himself though, but he takes a shot and Sexsmith makes the save. Blum gets it out to center. The Giants with their first lead of Game 7. Late here in the second period. Cunningham shoots the puck back in again. They've had a big period, 2 goals, 13 shots, lots of hits. They've carried a lot of the play, but the Tigers almost had the 2-1 lead on the Helm crossbar. Shades of Game 7, Calgary-Kootenay in the overtime when Bowanicki hit the post at one end, and the Calgary Hitmen came back at the other end with Duvel getting the game-winning goal, but that was in overtime of Game 7. Glass comes out of his own zone with 14 seconds to go in the period. Thielen broke it up. Here comes Watt. Watt. Does he dish it off? No, he holds on to the puck. Wright was looking for it, but there's the puck in the deep slot again. 1 second to go. The horn will sound, and that does it for the second period. A huge second period for the Vancouver Giants, and we have J.D. Watt and Benfield with a little exchange at the end, but nothing will come of that. But that was as good a second period as you can play on the road in this building.
Yeah, this Medicine Hat Tiger team, Dan, has been really, really good in periods 2 on home ice. It's been by far their most productive, and also the period they've given up the fewest goals, and they got stung for 2 right there. The Vancouver Giants now take that 2-1 lead into the third period.
And Matt Keeley, as is his custom, he's the last Tiger to leave the ice after each period. Let's go to Dan Elliott.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. Everybody getting their money's worth tonight, that's for sure. Coming up in between periods, Tigers D-man David Schlemko will join Barry Strader ringside. Giants majority owner Ron Toyle will join me here ringside as well at our location here at the arena. Plus, we have a little one-on-one with everybody's favorite Medicine Hat Tiger, Derek Dorsett. Plus, of course, Dan and Bill will be back with all kinds of other stuff, including highlights and analysis through 40 minutes of play. It's all coming up next right here on WHL Hockey on Shaw.
2-1, the Vancouver Giants lead the Medicine Hat Tigers after 2 periods of play here at the arena. Game 7 of the WHL Championship. I'm joined now by David Schlemko of the Medicine Hat Tigers. David, first of all, how tough was it to see Darren Hell make such a great play towards the end of the period, hit the crossbar, and then a few seconds later, Vancouver scores to take the lead?
Yeah, it's a tough break, I guess. I think we just sat back a little too much that period, though. We got to be more aggressive. That's our game, and if we do that, we'll create more of those chances.
Is this going the way you expected for a Game 7, the intensity, the speed out there?
Yeah, I don't know. I think every game's been intense, but not much of a real change. I think maybe guys on our team are maybe a little afraid to make a mistake right now, you know, Game 7, and I think we just got to kind of go after them. You know, both teams' backs are against the walls here, and we can't be afraid to make mistakes.
You are trailing going into the third period, of course. You haven't come back to win a game when in that situation in the playoffs so far this year, 0-5 in that situation. What do you have to do to turn that stat around and win the trophy tonight?
I don't know. I think we just got to forget about all that. I mean, we worked hard all year for this opportunity, and we got 1 period to go here, 20 minutes hard, and just got to go hard and leave it all on the ice.
Thanks, Dave. Good luck in the third period.
Thank you.
It's David Schlemko of the Medicine Hat Tigers, a native of Edmonton, Alberta. And now let's go over to Dan Elliott.
All right, I'm pleased to be joined now by Giants majority owner Ron Toigo. And Ron, I know it's tough for you watching these games sometimes, but a pretty impressive period for your team there in the second.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, I know even the first period I thought we played really well, but got into penalty problems like we have seemed to have been doing in this whole series. But, you know, they didn't overreact. They stayed, Don kept control of the bench, and I thought we've really outplayed them for the first 2 periods.
Yeah, definitely. They controlled a lot of the play, especially as the second period went on. I want to ask you, with this being your team, do you ever talk to these guys before a big game like that? Do you get in and say anything to them?
No, I'd never do that. That's Don's job, and you know, we leave that up to him. If he asks for help, we're there to help him. But Don does a great job, and we couldn't be happier that he's there.
Well, I was going to say, speaking of Don, hey, you brought him in 2004. You had a number of coaches, or rather 2 coaches prior to him. What is it about Don Hay that, I mean, obviously he's a winner, but what was it about him that you wanted him here in Vancouver?
Well, Don has so much passion for the game and passion for teaching, and really cares about the guys and in all aspects of it. He goes out, he phones them every night on curfew and talks to them how things are going at school and how, not just to do curfew, but to find out what's going on in their life. Sometimes they're having some troubles at home. He's a bit of a counselor on that. But he's an entire package, and he was brought in to really develop a program, a winning program, a program that everybody would love to come and play for, and a program where parents know that their sons are in good hands, and and whatever he needs, we're here to supply him with it. But he's the guy that really puts the whole program together, and with Scott Bonner, the 2 of them together, I think we've got the best staff in the league.
Well, speaking of your program, 2001, you guys came into the league. You're in the WHL final for the 2nd straight year. Is this how you laid it out when it all came to be in 2001?
Well, I think it's every team's plan in the entire league to be at the Western Hockey Final every year, and we all strive to get there. But I spent 10 years in Tri-Cities and never got there, and so it's a very difficult thing to do. And you know, we made it last year. We're close again this year, and it's not an easy thing to do, and there's a lot of things that have to fall into place.
Why do you think it was different for you in Vancouver than in Tri-City?
Well, I just think Vancouver's a hockey city and hockey town, and there's so much more support across the board from the schools, from the municipality in Delta that stepped up and helped us build a practice facility that we think that rivals a lot of NHL clubs, and the support just across the board from the sponsors, from the attendants, just everything. The more support you get, the easier it is to develop a winning program.
Now, obviously, Chilliwack came into the league this year, Edmonton coming into the league next year. Do these guys call you up and say, what did you do? Because we want to follow that plan.
Well, I know Edmonton has spent some time in our building, in our practice facility. They'd like to build something along that lines in Edmonton, and so yeah, it is a good program and it works. And you know, at the end of the day, you're only as good as the people that are with you.
Obviously, Vancouver hosting the Memorial Cup this year. How big is this for you? I mean, obviously, you had the World Juniors there last year. I mean, this has been unbelievable for sports fans in Vancouver.
Yeah, it really has. But again, you know, if the fans aren't there supporting these events or supporting the Giants or the way they support the World Juniors, we don't get these events. But when we're fortunate enough to get voted for to have them in our city, the support has been there. So as a result, you know, we're more likely to get them again sometime down the road.
Well, I appreciate you coming over here and taking the time. I know it'll be a bit of a nerve-wracking third period for you, but best of luck to your team the rest of the way.
Thanks a lot, Dan.
All right, thanks very much to Ron Toyo. We should mention Shaw's coverage of the WHL doesn't end here with the final. We're going to cover post-game of after every Giants and Tigers game. We'll have highlights, analysis, guests, you name it, we will have it. Check your local listings for more details. All right, we got to take a quick time out, but when we come back, a one-on-one with Medicine Hat Tiger Derek Dorsett. Well, welcome back to the arena here in Medicine Hat after 2 periods of play here in Game 7 between the Vancouver Giants and Medicine Hat Tigers. It is the Giants leading the Tigers 2-1. Wasey Rabbit scoring, as well as Michael Repick in the second period for the Giants to take that 2-1 lead. Now, if you were ever unclear on how valuable Derek Dorsett is to the Medicine Hat Tigers, all you had to do was watch his first shift in Game 6 last night, setting the tone as usual for his team with a big hit on Brett Festerling. Now, despite a number of nagging injuries and constantly being the target out on the ice, the 20-year-old has shown that he truly could be definitely one of the best champions out there. Prior to tonight's game, he sat down with Barry Strader.
Thanks very much, Dan. Derek, first of all, just looking at the way you play the game of hockey here, you're known as an agitator out there on the ice. Is that a role that you really relish and you really enjoy?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, that's what's got me to where I am today, and I've played that way my whole career, and I think I've came along more of a skill game my past couple of years, and I'll always play that role of the agitator, kind of get under the other opponent's skin, and that's how I got here, and that's how I've been successful. So I'll just keep playing that way.
And you've done that a lot in the championship series, especially with Kendall McArdle at Vancouver. You guys have had a bit of a feud since Game 1 of this series. Where does that all come from?
I think we just, similar type players, play with a lot of emotion and, play hard, and, we play the game for keeps, and I think that's just where that came from.
Of course, you had to serve a 1-game suspension in Game 5 for an incident in Game 4. Was that suspension deserved, do you think?
I've thought about it a lot, but, I've quit thinking about it and haven't really thought about it much the last couple of days, and all I have is one focus, and that's on tonight's game. So I mean, I served it, and it's over with, and it's in the past, and I'm just going to go move on from that.
How did it feel in game number 6 when you were introduced as part of the starting lineup and the crowd here at the arena in Medicine Hat gave you a long-standing ovation? How does that feel?
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, our fans are real loyal, and the fans are always behind us no matter what happens, and it was just a great feeling to know they're behind me for the incident, what happened, and it was just a great feeling and got me going right from the start.
Game 7 of this series, obviously very exciting for every player involved. Is this what you really dream to be involved in as a hockey player, to be in a Game 7 of a final series like this?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is where legends are made, and we're playing for keeps now, and we just got to make sure we come out hard and come out ready and focused and play our game.
What about the Memorial Cup ahead? I know you don't want to think about that too much right now, but will the Vancouver Giants and the Medicine Hat Tigers have anything left for that tournament, the way you guys have been battling so hard through 7 games of the final?
Well, I think so. I mean, this time of year, you're tired and you're emotionally down, and it's hard to keep going, but adrenaline gets you up there, and emotion, and I think that's what drives guys at this time of year, and we'll be able to dig deep and find some energy for that tournament, and that's what we train for all year long, and we just got to make sure that we're ready.
As a veteran player, what would it mean to you to win that trophy, not only the WHL trophy, but the Memorial Cup trophy at the end of the season?
It'd mean a lot to me. I mean, closing out my WHL career, and it would just mean a lot. It's hard to explain in words, but it would just mean so much to me, and just gotta worry about tonight and go from there.
Derek, thanks very much for joining us tonight, and good luck at the Memorial Cup in Vancouver.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's go back to Dan.
All right, thanks, Barry. Now, the latest edition of Hockey Now is on newsstands. Get your copy today. You want to stay up to date on every level of the game, from minor hockey to junior to pro. Hockey Now is your comprehensive look at the game we all love. Hockey Now, serving hockey across the provinces. Let's take a look at the Memorial Cup schedule coming up. Of course, it all gets kicked off on Friday as the host Vancouver Giants will host the OHL champions from Plymouth. That's Friday night at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Medicine Hat's first game will be Saturday versus the Q champions from Lewiston. That game at 1 p.m. Pacific. Now, if there are any question about how dedicated some of these Medicine Hat fans are, I should mention Ron Erishman. He had hip replacement surgery last week, told his doctors he had to be here if there was a Game 7. He's here with his crutches and all. Time now to check in with Dan and Bill. Got lots more through 40 minutes.
Oh, that's a great story, Dan. And I can tell you, just being around this community the past, in and out for the last number of weeks, they just love their Tigers here. And it's such a great hockey market. And it's such a shame that one of these two teams is not going to hoist the championship trophy at the end of the night. But I'll tell you what, you can't ask for much better than a 2-1 hockey game going into the third period of Game 7.
Yeah, again, I'm just so happy that whoever loses this game has got more hockey left and still a chance at that Memorial Cup, because I really think they both deserve it.
Now, Vancouver was down 1-0 after the first period. It was their turn to have to turn it up and find some desperation. They found that to get back into the contest, and they needed a little good fortune as well.
Well, they did that. It came off a power play. You'll see it right here. It's Repik along the half wall in the offensive zone. He's looking for Blum, 7, going for the net from the defensive position right there. But that puck bounces off Russell and gets into Rabbit's spot in a nice spot in front of the net. That play by Russell there, watch how Rabbit finds himself right there. See, 1, 2, 3. I mean, Rabbit gets that puck 16. He's in a soft spot in front. Very, very lucky to be there, and then puts it upstairs. This is how close the Tigers came to making it 2-1 their favor. That was a crossbar. You see it right there. Helm on the play. Now it's the Vancouver Giants with a face-off in the offensive zone. Lukic taking it around the back wall. You're going to watch there that if you don't pay attention to Rabbit, you're going to, or to Repik, you're going to be in trouble. See 2 guys there. There's 3. There's 16. That's Todd and that's Baldwin in front of the net. Nobody is looking over their shoulder to see Michael Repik, and he makes them pay for it. I don't think Keatley had any chance on that goal. The celebration was on.
So here's the summary of the second period, and a big period for Rabbit and Repik, each a goal and an assist. And the Giants will take a 2-1 lead into the third period of the championship game. Here come the Tigers, and we invite you to stay tuned for what might be the final period of Western Hockey League action this year. It's coming your way next on Shaw. Michael Repik has the go-ahead goal for Vancouver. We're getting ready for the third. Dan Russell with Bill Wilms, Dan Elliott, Barry Strader, our producer Dave Roberts, our director Carlo Petrini, and the great Shaw staff here in Alberta. Hoping you're enjoying this Game 7, and we're glad you've been aboard through the Western Hockey League playoffs. As we start this period, the teams are at full strength, and the puck in Giants territory. Here's Russell. Long shot, knocked down. Blum. Side of the net, and the puck is frozen, and we'll get a face-off in the Vancouver zone.
Not surprising to see that puck drop right at the center ice area at the face-off, and Stevens, Helm, and Dorsett go hard into the offensive zone, trying to make something happen. A lot of activity, or a lot of people trying to find out what's going down. One end of the arena, not too sure.
May have been some Vancouver fans over in that left corner, and they're hearing about it. And now we hear some booing going on, and some security has been asked to step in. And meantime, here comes Mahachik. Mahachik now for McArdle. McArdle back to Mahachik. He rolls it towards the net. Mahachik gets it back again, right in front of the net. They're banging at it, and it's swept away. There's Krause dumping it to the corner. Krause getting it back for a moment. Now the Tigers get it, and they shoot it out to center. Festerling intercepts there and flips it right back into Medicine Hat territory. Glass up to Undershoot. Now to Jared Sauer. Blum intercepts, and Lucic has some space over here. He winds up and shoots it, but it's deflected by Schlemko out of play.
Vancouver trying to get the Tigers on a line change. However, quickly the new players come off that Tiger bench, and Lucic with his shot, he tried to break up the ice. Mahachik does such a good job of not giving up on a play. He's ridden to the outside. He's literally out of the play, but he doesn't give up on that puck. And that's one thing about Spencer Mahachik, 15 for Vancouver. Just in every play. He wants to be in every play. And sometimes you wonder about fatigue, but he doesn't ever show any.
We know what Medicine Hat must do here in the third. Do you think Vancouver will get into a defensive shell at all, Bill?
Well, they'd be in trouble if they do.
Ennis lost it. Repik has it up to Rabbit. Lucic on his right. Rabbit crosses in over the line. Going at a sharp angle, trying to throw it in front, gets it back again. Now it's A.J. Phelan. Puts it off the target. Lucic turns and shoots. Rebound! And Keatley makes that save right on the doorstep. And again, it's the Medicine Hat goaltender, Keatley, who continues to make big save after big save for the Tigers.
Well, you know, the Giants get that puck through. That's a shot by Thielen that is blocked right there. Then there's one chance by Lucic, another one by Repik. Just a lot of pressure in that offensive zone. Vancouver comes out. That's a simple save there by Keatley, but boy, if you're the Tigers, you want to go the full 200 feet the other way. They've got to establish a real solid presence in the Giant zone.
There's another giveaway as right at the side of the net puts it back at the goal. J.D. Watt now hustles over on the far side. He and Grant battling for the puck. Michael Sauer with it. He'll try this near side. Lowry will try to hustle, but Festerling's there first. Festerling dumps it back to the net once more. Michael Sauer lined up by right and hands it right to right. A rare mistake by Michael Sauer. He doesn't do that very often. And then Watt pulls over his man. Again, the Giants with the great forecheck. Comes around to Festerling. Festerling puts it right back behind the net. Giants will try to make a change. They've been out there so long, even on the forecheck. That's why the Tigers are able to get the puck out and down the ice. Sexsmith will leave it for Festerling. Up to McArdle. Went off his stick, gained Todd. Starts back to Stevens. Into Dorsett. Intercepted, knocked back out again. Benfeld. Up for Stevens, he rolls it in. Dorsett gives chase. He and Festerling battle for the puck. Kendall McArdle on this near side. Chops it out. Mahachik hustling onto it. Mahachik cuts to the middle, shoots! And Keatley again makes the save on Mahachik's low shot. Back comes Russell. Check that, Dane Todd. Todd flips it in and gives chase. Regner and Todd battling back of the net. Bliznak in the corner. Now Mahachik is lined up, and he too is bumped. That one by Wasden. Nice play by Schlemko to keep the puck in, but Regner has it now. Regner gives it away in his own zone. And the Giants almost get crossed up. Mahachik. Mahachik can't handle it. That Giant miscue could lead to something big here. Here's Schlemko. Here's Baldwin. Here's his shot off the target. Goes around the back of the net. Now it's Medicine Hat's turn for pressure. Undershoot from back of the net. Undershoot trying to throw it in front. Goes back to Baldwin. Baldwin puts it well wide off the boards, and a good chance at the side of the net. Wrap around attempt, and Sexsmith is there to make that save off Undershoot. And they flip the puck out of play. And there's that penalty. There's that penalty in a Game 7. A flip over the glass, and Medicine Hat will go on the power play.
Just a whole bunch of pressure by the Tigers inside that offensive zone, and so much of it starts with shots from the point that bounce off that back wall. This is a very diligent effort here until that play is taken right there, and it's definitely Regner saying, I mean, you probably won't get a more obvious over-the-glass play than that one right there.
5th power play of the night for Medicine Hat. Their only goal came with the man advantage way back in the first period. And they really need one. Schlemko shoots it in. Festerling tips it. Does it come out? Yes. Russell back to get it. Schlemko, lead pass up for Stevens. Dorsett takes it. Back for Stevens. Stevens behind the net for Todd. Around the horn there to Schlemko. Schlemko plays it down low. Here's Todd. Shooting. Blocked. Schlemko with the puck. Schlemko. Now to Russell. Back for Schlemko. He can't reach it. Now he does. He dumps it to the corner though. Blum and Dorsett will battle. Todd plays it to Schlemko. Schlemko, will he play it to Russell? You know he will. Russell shoots. Sexsmith makes the save. Festerling. Now Dorsett. Over to that far side for Todd. Under a minute to go in the penalty. Todd puts it back of the net. Now it comes back to Schlemko. Now it goes over to Russell. Shot! The puck is sitting there. And the Giants jump on it and shoot it down the ice. Great pressure in the one shot there by Russell. And the big rebound. That's what it was set up for, but it was the Giants who jumped on that rebound. Half a minute to go in the power play. In comes Helm. It's broken up, but it hits the linesman, and the Giants can't get it out. Here's the Tigers. Helm with it. Helm back to Michael Sauer. Sauer over to Baldwin. Baldwin can't shoot yet. Now he does. Sexsmith save rebound. They're banging at the puck. It's still loose, and it's swept down the ice by Vancouver.
Unbelievable action. And the fans applaud that Tiger power play, don't they?
Listen to this place. Penalty over. Giants back at full strength. Ennis strips the puck. Ennis right in. And Sexsmith has got it. Where's the whistle? Wow, what a pile up in the crease. Finally, the whistle went. Sexsmith was wondering what took so long. There's action on the ice. There's action off of the ice. This place is bedlam right now.
2 chances by the Tigers earlier in this power play were blocked by their own player Stevens in front of the net, but not that one. That was Ennis taking it like he does to the front of the net area. Look at the action in front. Sexsmith maintaining his strong position. When you're in that position and you're the goaltender, you are hoping the puck hits you. And look at, you count them, every player on the ice for the Vancouver Giants is there. That's the block I'm talking about. That hits Stevens, and fortunately for Vancouver, it ends up on a black-shirted Vancouver Giants stick and gets out of there. And the one earlier was also blocked by a Medicine Hat Tiger on the way to the net. Sexsmith's been just sensational here. 27-17 shots on goal favoring Vancouver.
And we're going to video replay on this. I'm not sure. Well, I mean, I know why. They're going to check it, but I don't think there's a goal here.
We did have an overhead look, didn't we, on one of these already? I don't think I saw the puck.
Andy Thiessen, referee, talking upstairs. You'll see the overhead again. This is the 4th time in the series they've used video replay. It's the first time WHL has ever had video replay. Anybody find the puck in the net?
Well, the referee's right on top of that. Is that...
Well, by the end, maybe it had been forced in, but again, when did the whistle blow versus the replay?
Well, we'll get a signal here in just a second. Watch Andy Thiessen. Have a look. There it is. Veteran official. That's where the decision was made.
Kevin Mensch, Director of Officiating on the left. Rick Dirksen, Executive Vice President of the league in the center. And you love having the video replay to make sure. It's just too much on the line. On the face-off, the Tigers had it for a moment but lost it, and the Giants sent it down the ice. It'll be icing on Vancouver.
You know, Dan, I keep thinking that one of these teams is going home after tonight with their season ended. Don't want to harp on that, but that's not the case. Mario Bliznak, boy, you know what? Vancouver Canucks drafted him really late last 2 years ago, and boy, did they have success with a late pick just recently in their recent playoffs. Remember Jannik Hansen the job he did in the playoffs for that team. He was a 287th pick for Vancouver. They're hoping the same thing happens for Bliznak.
Out of Portland in the Western Hockey League. So here comes Mahachik out of his own zone. Broken up, and here come the Tigers. Stevens, rather, is passed behind Dorsett, and Vancouver has a 3-on-1. McArdle hits, I think, the goal post, and then out of play. Wow, McArdle shooting the puck. I'm not sure he knew it was 3-on-1. It developed very quickly, and I think it hit the bar and then went out of play.
Well, here come three Medicine Hat Tigers, but they all get too close together, and you got a couple defense following that play up. Vancouver breaks out. It is a 2-on-1. It's McArdle. He's got Bliznak with him, and he rings that puck. Did he hit it just deflect off the goaltender, Dan?
I don't think so, because the faceoff came outside the blue line.
So he just shot it up high.
Or it hit the bar and went up high. Helm has his pass picked off, or not Helm, that was Russell. His pass picked off. Regner sends it in. We're past the 7-minute mark of the third period of Game 7. Vancouver 2, Medicine Hat 1. Russell. Michael Sauer. What is it about those best of sevens? When you start on the road, you better count on winning twice on the road. That's certainly the case here. Vancouver knew that was probably going to be the case. Medicine Hat's just too good not to have won a road game somewhere along the trail.
That's the secret right there. Doesn't matter if the team's going to win one in your building, you got to win two in the other. That's almost always the case.
Here's Jared Sauer, a shot. That's knocked down. Krause lugs it to center, shoots it in deep. Keatley will leave it back in the net, and he'll play it to Baldwin. Baldwin has lots of time. Lucic goes over to have a look at him. There's a bit of a giveaway, but it's flipped in on a delayed offside. Baldwin will have a chance again. Shots are 27 for Vancouver, 17 for Medicine Hat. The score, though, the all-important number. Only a one-goal game. Tigers one shot away from tying it. Blum has it get away from him, but following it up was Rabbit. Now Lucic. Here's Rabbit taking off his stick. Rabbit's having a big final series. Former captain of the Saskatoon Blades. Blum to Festerling. Festerling will send it in. Goes around the glass. Rabbit. Back of the net. Trying to work it in front. Bosch puts it back at the goal again. Here's Glass around the boards. And it's sent back high onto Keatley. And Glass will try again. Benfeld. Bosch tips it in. It rolls to Sexsmith, and he's going to cover up with Stevens right on the doorstep.
This is how close Vancouver came to making it 3-1. You saw Helm hit the crossbar earlier. How about McArdle's shot right there off the crossbar? Referee right there to make that call. Watch where it hits. Top left-hand corner, right over the shoulder of Keatley. Ended up going outside, and faceoff was outside. Now it's all the way back in the Vancouver Giants zone. 10:55 left.
Huge would have that been.
Oh. This game tonight is one of huge plays everywhere.
And still more to come.
Oh yeah, there's going to be some mistakes made between here and the end of this hockey game, and see if teams capitalize on it.
Todd back of the net. Bliznak gets the puck, plays it around the boards. Everything's a battle. Russell first to it, turns, but he passed it right to Bliznak. Lead pass up to McArdle. It hits the linesman and it threw it offside. So it's a bit of a double whammy from Vancouver's standpoint. It hit the linesman, negating the break, and it threw the play offside.
The only Giant to play in a Game 7 winner-take-all was Kendall McArdle last year when Moose Jaw beat Calgary in 7 in that Eastern Conference semifinal. There's the guy that leads all playoff goal scorers this year with 11. Leads the playoffs in plus-minus with plus 15. One thing about McArdle, boy, he's never, ever been on cruise control in these playoffs at any point. It's been 100% go.
Tigers, of course, have all played a Game 7 this year in the first round. This is our third Game 7 of the WHL playoffs. They beat Red Deer in round 1, 2-0 in this building. Undershoot giving chase. Thielen and Undershoot battling for it. Who's going to come out of the corner with the puck? Well, they'll try this corner now. Schlemko first to it. He's tied up by Mickelson. Nicholson just pokes at it. Phelan gets possession of the puck. Phelan up for J.D. Watt. Now Wright hustles onto the puck in the corner. Watt's cruising around in the slot. Wright has had a great Game 7 here for Vancouver. Still with the puck. Puts it back in the net. Baldwin has the puck. What a big bonus to have that kind of performance from Wright. Just a youngster. And speaking of youngsters, that's Kane in there. And that's St. Baron. Here's Kane right in. Trying to force it through, and Boma, he can't get a stick on it. Blum shoots, save, rebound. Keatley has got it. It's underneath Keatley. What a save. What a timely save as well for Matt Keatley to keep the score 2-1. We have under a half a period remaining in Game 7, third period. Don't go away. It's the Western Hockey League Championship Series on Shaw.
Well, how good has Matt Keatley been tonight's game alone? He's been great all series. Well, folks, it's MVP-type performance. There's no question about that. You're not going to win these kind of games without that kind of goaltending. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
And with 9:22 to go in the third period, it's Keatley clearly keeping the Tigers in it. Phil Medicine Hat has only one shot in the third period.
And it's got 9:22 to go in it.
Giants have 6 shots on goal. And here come the Tigers. The fans during the TV timeout were asked to applaud their Tigers for an unbelievable season, and why not? And the place went into that bedlam mode for the umpteenth time tonight. Here's Russell off the wing, putting it wide of the net. Schlemko dumping it down low. Helm trying to center it. Bosch missed it. Followed up, but intercepted by Boma. He gets it out. Here's a break. It's Repik rather. Turning, shooting, and Keatley again makes a great save. It's just save after save by Keatley. He's trying to save the series for Medicine Hat. He's doing everything he can. It's still 2-1, and it's all thanks to Keatley. Lucic puts the puck back into Medicine Hat territory. Michael Sauer hard around these near boards. Krause intercepts. J.D. Watt trying to settle it down. He's pushed down by Baldwin. Krause in there. Tigers get it. Here they come. Stevens, poke check by Ragnar. Lead pass up for Watt, misses him. Could be icing. No, waved off. Tigers clear it. And out to center. It's gobbled up there by Dorsett. Up to Stevens. Here's his shot. And Sexsmith makes the save. Stevens again from a sharp angle. And a wraparound attempt. Stevens puts it in front. Top scores!
The Tigers just won't quit. That's Stevens getting it across the crease area. Dorsett in front. When the Tigers get on the swarm, when they get around the front of the net area, you better pay such close attention to who's around you, and they'll make you pay for it. It's absolutely phenomenal. We're tied at 2.
12-10, the time of the goal, and it's Todd's 7th of the playoffs. Game 7, 2-2. And here comes Bliznak. He can't get it in deep. The Tigers on bump-up shifts have been incredible this year, and watch Russell throwing it in front of the net. Sharp angle shot by Jared Sauer. That's blocked. Sauer follows up again. Festerling. And now Bliznak gets it to Mahachik. Dorsett gets the second assist. Vancouver to the attack. Phelan, cross ice. Mickelson shot wide of the net. Didn't miss by much. Phelan pokes at it, and it goes way up high into the roof here at the Medicine Hat Arena. With 7:01 to go, third period. These fans get on their feet once more.
The traffic in front of the net has Dorsett involved in it, but it's that pass by Stevens. It bounces off Thielen, and he gets it to the front. Timmy Kraus a little bit soft on Dane Todd right there. He's got him. He's got a position on him, but he doesn't get that puck past it. It doesn't make the check on him.
Meantime, Vancouver won a face-off. Keatley made another save, and it ended up on the mesh, and Vancouver put it on the mesh, so it'll come outside. The face-off will outside the line.
Do these guys even think, are they even thinking about the Memorial Cup next week? It hasn't been that way. It's seen from the drop of the puck in game 1 in this building. This game's now got 6:53 left in regulation time. And they're thinking about one thing only, and that's the next 6.5 minutes of this hockey game. And only that.
Some people thought they'd play the whole series knowing, hey, we're going to the MC. We don't need to play hard. Here's Vancouver's Rabbit. In over the line with Lucic. Rabbit puts on the brakes. Puts it, where is he going to put it? Cross ice, right to Thielen. His shot is wide of the net. Thielen had to take it from his backhand to his forehand. Lucic, back of the goal. Hard work for Vancouver now on the cycle. Lucic, check by Glass. Good job by Glass. He kicks it around, and Bosch gets possession. Here comes Helm. Helm in on Festerling. Helm going wide, going back of the net, and Festerling stays with them. Boma ties up his man. It's Dorsett in the corner. Stevens in there. Dorsett throws it at the side of the net, and Sexsmith is going to hold on.
A.J. Thielen had a bit of a chance earlier just inside the Vancouver zone, but he couldn't get that puck from his forehand to his backhand properly and ran out of time and space. This is Helm going down the wing. We saw the other night he scored the winning goal right there, but this time he tries to put it off his own skates. Watch it. Back there. Ahead. I don't think Festerling would have a whole lot to do with that play. Forced him into a bad spot behind the net.
Face-off won by Medicine Hat. Michael Sauer. Back to Chris Russell. Dane Todd and Festerling battling. Dorsett back of the net with Bliznak. Todd only for a moment had the puck. Russell from the line. Throws it in front! Off the end boards, and Sexsmith had to sweep it away. Russell again, as he does so well, he held the line, but finally Vancouver gets out, and Bliznak shoots the puck in deep. Kendall McArdle will give chase. McArdle rides Michael Sauer to the boards, but Sauer maintains possession, and he gets the puck to the line. Thielen holding that line, holds the puck in. McArdle to Mahachik. He couldn't get a shot, and Kraus goes to the corner. Mahachik was dumped. Now it's Sauer with it. Sauer flips the puck out. A.J. Thielen gloves it down, shoots it back in again. 5 minutes to go. Game 7. It's 2-2. Tigers collect the puck. Here comes Undershoot, trying to go around Mickelson. Undershoot and Mickelson. They battle in the corner. Kraus goes in there. Undershoot comes up with a loose puck. He'll try a wraparound as he throws it in front of the net. Schlemko keeps the puck in. Schlemko gets the puck down low there for Undershoot. Lowry's there. Schlemko jumps in. Can he get a shot? No, it rolls off his stick. Mickelson and Schlemko will battle. Schlemko still has the puck. Back of the net for Undershoot. Undershoot works it in front of the net. Here is a shot for the line, and it hit the side of the net. A wraparound attempt. It comes in front of the net, and a shot is stopped. Big scramble in front of the goal. Helm, Schlemko. Helm can't get the puck. Kraus gets it. Huge pressure by the Tigers. Kraus flips it to the line. Schlemko holds it in. Schlemko, drop pass for Helm. He puts it over top the net. Unbelievable action here in game number 7 as the Giants get the puck out to the neutral zone.
That was a Medicine Hat Tiger turn to surge, wasn't it?
Helm puts the puck back of the net. In front of the goal! And it just rolled off the stick of Grant. What a golden opportunity there for the Tigers. Grant had the apparent go-ahead goal on his stick. The Giants get the puck. Can they start out 3-on-2? It's a lead tip in by Rabbit. He gives chase. Rabbit to the board, but the Tigers get there first. Stevens up for Dorsett. Here he comes. Dorsett squeezed off the puck by Blum, and Blum starts back for Vancouver. Rabbit tips it back into Tiger territory. Glass to it first. Round the far boards. Thrown in front of the net, and Lucic just missed it there. Lucic trying to get a stick on it, could not. Baldwin gets it. Hard around the boards, and out it comes.
Boy, these kids just don't leave anything on the ice. Every shift with 3 minutes left now. They're making all the good plays with the puck, Dan. They're protecting it real solidly.
Here's Dorsett chasing it down. Sharp angle shot is right on Sexsmith. The Tigers have really turned it up here. The 2-2 goal has brought everybody alive. And there's 2:44 to go in the third period. Bliznak up for McArdle. Here's Mahachik. Can't get a shot away. McArdle in the corner. Comes around these near boards. Where do they get this energy from, these kids? They just keep going and going. Michael Sauer gets the puck up. Thielen, now to Regner. Regner off the boards and up to McArdle. He flips it in. 2:15 to go. I'd say next goal wins. What about you, Bill?
It's a done deal.
Icing called on the Tigers.
Well, this is Medicine Hat. They've really been spurred on by that goal by Todd. And if you're a Vancouver boy, you better make sure you've got good position around the front of the net. There's been a lot of block shots. The ones that have gotten through, Dan, Sexsmith has been there to make a save. There's the last one right there, right off the tip of the stick, right there of Colton Grant.
Yep.
He had the game right on the line right there.
Bill, we knew it was a great series. Can we now upgrade it to a classic?
Yeah, no, this will be. For two teams that are both going to the Memorial Cup next week, people will talk about this as being the best series of two teams that really didn't even have to play this hard.
Tigers get the possession of the puck, and Jared Sauer knocks it out. Following it up his glass. Here he comes. Shooting, and we know he can shoot it. Sexsmith gloves it down. Puts it aside for Regner. Medicine Hat makes that line change. They couldn't make after the icing. Shot into Tiger territory. Russell and Sauer at the back end. It's the Giants' turn to make a line change. Russell comes out. Lead pass. Blum has it. It's flipped out to center. Michael Sauer lost it. Here comes Repic. Repic holding it. Throws it in front, and it's just redirected off the target by Rabbit. What a great play there. And that was almost the go-ahead goal for Vancouver. Festerling puts it back in again. Russell gets it. Long stretch pass. Tries to find Stevens. Walking in. Shooting, and it's right on Sexsmith, and he holds on.
Chances at both ends of the ice. This is Repic going into the Medicine Hat Tiger zone. He's looking for Lucic. Somebody's got to go to the net right there. It was actually Rabbit. That puck is just deflected. This is how close it comes on the deflect. Going up the ice the other way. Good chance by Stevens right there. The quick shot. He's got a bit of a screen. Uses it. Sexsmith makes a save.
Hard to find more entertaining hockey than the Western Hockey League played like this. Blum and Dorsett battling. 1:05 remaining in Game 7, third period, and still everything's on the line. Giants get the puck out. Mahachik with McArdle. Blum heads to the net. There's the pass, and Keeley makes the save of Jonathan Blum. And look at the Tigers. Here they come. Dorsett, 2-on-1. Passes intercepted by Festerling. Chances at both ends here in the final minute. Unbelievable. Rabbit through the neutral zone, still going. Rabbit can't get the shot away. What a period he's having. What a game Rabbit's having. Mickelson back to Thielen. 25 seconds to go. Rabbit couldn't get the puck. Undershoot trying to get it. Rabbit can't get a stick on it. Wasden puts it in. Giants flip it out. 10 seconds to go. Michael Sauer with it. Lead pass. And can you believe it? We are going to sudden death overtime. Game 7. Do you want more of this great hockey? You just got some more.
Well, this is how close both teams came to ending it. And it all happened in the last minute. Both teams are up and down the ice. This is Mahachuk going in. He's looking for somebody. He's got Blum going to far right side. That's a defenseman. Keatley in perfect position to make that play. That wasn't enough. Here come the Tigers up the ice the other way. They try to get that pass through. Dorsett stays with it. He's ridden out of there by Festerling. Just a terrific pass or play by Festerling. If that pass gets through, we might not even got to overtime. Wow, I want more. These fans want more. We're going to get more.
Okay, Dan Elliott, over to you now. Your turn.
Yeah, you bet, guys. Yeah, if you don't like this game, you don't like hockey. This has been an unbelievable game, but what would you expect between these two teams? It's been even so far along the way, of course, here in Game 7. So coming up here in our first overtime, we're going to hear from Tigers assistant coach Sean Clouston. As well, we'll have complete highlights and more throughout regulation. Man, this one's going overtime. 32-24 were the shots to regulation. We got more coming up right here on WHL Hockey on Shaw.
2-2, the Vancouver Giants and Medicine Hat Tigers tied through regulation here in Game 7 of the Western Hockey League Finals. I'm joined by Sean Clouston, assistant coach for the Medicine Hat Tigers. Sean, I guess it's fitting that we go to overtime in a Game 7 of a championship series, right?
Yeah, I guess so. It's a little bit tough on the coaches, but it's been a great series. It's been a great game tonight, and I guess we're heading to OT.
Looking at that third period by your team, trailing 2-1 going into the frame, you really seemed to dominate that final 20 minutes. How did the guys muster up the energy to do that?
Well, we knew that they were handing the trophy out to somebody tonight, and we just we couldn't picture it, going the other way. So that's where it was heading into the third. It was going to Vancouver for sure, and so I thought that we battled back. Now we deserve a chance. I mean, we gave ourselves a chance in the third period to win the trophy. Now it's next goal wins, but that was basically it. The guys couldn't settle for the way we played in the second. I thought we had a good start, but the second just wasn't us.
Looking at some of the star performers for your team, one guy who really stands out tonight so far, I would say, is goaltender Matt Keeley. He's been outstanding.
Oh, he really has. In that period, we had to push a little bit, press a little bit, because we needed to score. And that created a couple opportunities at the other end. I thought he came up with some huge saves, one after we tied it up on that 2-on-1. So, it's going to be a good overtime, I'm sure. I'm sure both goaltenders are going to be tested, and we're looking forward to it.
It seems like your team has the momentum going into overtime. Is that a factor at all, do you think?
Hopefully. I mean, I think it's a factor if you can end it quick. There's going to be some momentum shifts. The longer it goes, there's going to be chances at both ends, and I think you just have to keep pushing. We're a team that plays a lot better with an aggressive mindset, so we want to go after. You don't want to sit back and hope something bad doesn't happen. You want to make something good happen, so that's the way we're going to approach it.
Going into overtime here, as you said, you want to finish the game early if possible and take that momentum that you gained from the third period. But what are the real keys to winning an overtime game, especially when a championship is on the line?
Good reads, good decisions. I think if we have an opportunity to get on the forecheck, we do create a little bit of momentum if we can get in on the forecheck. Obviously the puck's in our end. We've got to be solid. We've got to keep things to the outside. We don't want to give out outnumbered situation in front of the net. So I guess at the other end, it's get people to the net if the puck's going there.
Sean, thanks very much for taking the time to do this. Good luck in OT.
All right, thanks a lot.
Sean Clouston, the assistant coach for the Medicine Hat Tigers. We are getting ready for overtime here at the arena in Medicine Hat. 2-2. The Tigers and the Giants all knotted up through 60 minutes of play. We'll have more coming up next. Don't go away.
Welcome back to the WHL final here at the arena. Medicine Hat fans finally getting a chance to sit down after just an unbelievable third period between the Giants and Tigers. Dane Todd tying it up for Medicine Hat here in the third to send Game 7 of the final into overtime. Now, prior to tonight's game, we talked to the captain of the Tigers, Chris Russell, to get his thoughts on what overtime would be all about.
It's on the line. We have players in our room that play as hard as they can, and it doesn't matter what point of the game is. They're going to come with their best efforts, and we expect that out of our players. And if it goes into overtime, we don't expect nothing less. And Vancouver's a great team, and they're going to challenge. And it seems the overtime, it's the one that bounce you get. It's not the pretty goals that win it. It's the shot on net that you might not have a chance that seems to go in. So if we were to have a OT here, we just got to make sure that I think we put all the pucks to the net, because you just never know.
I'm pleased now to be joined by Brad Kingsmith, who's the host of Tiger Tales here in Medicine Hat for Shaw TV. And Brad, maybe just get your thoughts on that third period. It was unbelievable.
It was an unbelievable third. You said it. Just both teams going at it. It's good to see the Tigers, tie up the game and get back in this one, send it to overtime. You couldn't ask for anything else for Game 7.
Obviously, you've seen this team all year long. I want to ask you about Matt Keeley. He took a little bit of ribbing maybe in that first round versus Red Deer. He always came back with a shutout, but man, he's just been unbelievable in this series.
Yeah, he's been lights out, really. That first round against Red Deer, he wasn't at his best, and he came out and said that. But in every loss, he came back with a big win after that. And then he's been, I think, really got the Tigers to where they are right now.
Now, I know we were just talking off camera beforehand. You were saying that it seemed like the team really got into it in the third when the announcer talked about the 20-year-olds and everybody in the fans in terms of coming up and giving them a standing ovation.
Yeah, they got the fans right back in this game. They were down a goal. And, standing up and giving them a standing ovation like that, what else could you ask for? That really gets the blood going for these guys. And, they want to win this, even though both of them are in the Memorial Cup.
Well, definitely they do. And you know what? One of those guys is Darren Helm. He obviously struggled in the first couple of games of the series. Got the game winner in Game 6. But I know you've been watching him tonight. You think he's been pretty impressive.
He's been on fire. That one, he came in the second period and rang it off the post.
Man.
I thought that was going to for sure go in for him. He's had some bad puck luck, but I think I like him in the overtime.
Do you see him playing with a little bit more confidence right now?
Yeah, do you know what? I don't think he lost the confidence. I think he was just squeezing the stick a little too tightly.
Now, in terms of overtime, I mean, Chris Russell just talking about it, maybe get a few bounces here and there. You think all these guys got to do is just fire a few pucks at the net?
You know what? A lot of overtime goals you see nowadays, well, actually for a long time now, you just put the puck on net and good things happen, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a dirty one go in here tonight.
What do you think it means to this city in general in terms of the fans here in Medicine Hat? What a WHL championship would mean?
This would be huge for this community. They're Tiger crazy. They bleed orange and black here for sure. So this would be just the cap off of a great season.
Well, in terms of overtime, I want to ask you, maybe get a few predictions from you. Who do you think from either team? Obviously, maybe Helm is the guy you're looking at.
Yeah, Darren Helm. I said that earlier. Darren Helm's been playing unbelievable. I think he's going to be able to put one in. And Michael Repick on the other side is looking very good for the Giants. So I take those two to end this one here in overtime.
Well, those are pretty good. I like Repick, and I like, you know what? I like Derek Dorsett. I think after all of the controversy with him, it'd be fun to see him getting the winner here. But thanks a lot, Brad, for dropping by. Enjoy the overtime. Hopefully, it's a quick one. In case one of these teams will win. All right, we got to take a quick break, but we'll have much more when we come back. You thought Game 7 in the final was pretty good. How about overtime in Game 7? Yeah, the drop of the puck coming up in just a moment. We'll send it upstairs to Dan and Bill with more.
Thank you. I had a thought. Maybe we should just go home now, and they can both go through the front door.
Why not? I mean, really, there's going to be a team that loses, and both of these teams deserve to win the WHL Championship, but there's still a lot of hockey left. It might go quick, but who knows? Both teams are explosive, Dan. They can score in a heartbeat. That's one of the things that makes us exciting.
They were getting a lot of chances even late in the third. I got a feeling it's going to be fast. I have no idea who's going to win, but go ahead with the highlights.
Well, you see, if 3 Tigers, they don't get that puck in deep. That's a turnover at the blue line. That'll end up costing you in overtime for sure. Mahachek with a quick headman pass to McCardle, and that came with Vancouver leading 2-1. He, clanks it right off the post. And Keatley just so solid and making these saves. You'll see him deep in the crease area here in a minute. He's basically back on the goal line right there. Now watch him get up and get to the front of the crease. See that? Right to the outside of the paint. If he doesn't get to that spot, he doesn't get to make that save. This is the goal right here. Dorsett, 15, does a nice job there, catching it off the back wall. That's where Stevens takes over. Timmy Kraus cannot find Dane Todd beside him. Turns around a little bit too late, and it's been tied up. And it's just a lot of chances after that. Goaltending at both ends has had to be very, very good. That's the play right there. Just a good job by Stevens to get that puck. Dorsett there to the front. Stevens 2 chances at it. Todd takes it from forehand to backhand. Puts it in. Schlemko coming in from the point. Just a lot of chances, isn't it? Good saves by both goaltenders. Very, very solid performance to keep this a 2-2 game and headed in overtime.
And here was a Vancouver chance. There were so many of them. That was Rabbit just putting the puck wide. Here's your summary, and as you look at the summary, and Todd's tying goal at 12-10, the home team in the overtime in these playoffs have won 12. The visitors have won 9. As for the Tigers, they're a perfect 3-0 in overtime. Their heroes have been Dorsett, Ennis, and Glass. Jonathan Blum has the only Vancouver OT marker in the 07 playoffs. They are 1-3, the Vancouver Giants. And we won't even mention regular season overtime because they shouldn't be called the same animal, really.
Yeah, we talked about that. You play 4-on-4. Doesn't really count. Shootouts don't count. We've seen trouble with that situation there before. We saw that in the Saddle Dome one night. Remember that?
Yeah, but that was in the middle of the winter. I mean, here in the spring, I can imagine they're having some ice problems. It's very hot in here, isn't it?
Well, the logo there that they're working on right now, that's not too deep under the paper, under the ice right there, and they've got to make sure that that's covered. Well, we'll take a look at these goals here tonight. We'll see how it all happened. It starts with Ennis opening the scoring at 9:06 of the first period. He's right in front of the net right there. Loves to be in that spot. By the way, Ennis winning that series overtime goal against the Calgary Hitmen. This is Rabbit going upstairs from a nice spot in front of the net area. You lose track of Repick. He gave Vancouver a go-ahead goal at that point, and this is a game tire. And that's why we're in overtime right there. 4 goals, 2 by each team. And it's all on the line, and it could go quickly. It could go on forever.
Vancouver won the first game of the series. Medicine Hat won the next 2. Vancouver then won the next 2. And Medicine Hat won last night 4-3. And that brings us to here, the game 7. And I don't blame them for taking all the time they need to get this piece of ice and the logo underneath it flat so that we don't have a wipeout back of the net that potentially could lead to a series clinching goal. We want to take away all those elements, take away the chance of that settling things.
Top line for the Medicine Hat Tigers has been Helm, Stevens, and Dorsett. Boy, they've had quite a playoff. Chris Stevens, a 20-year-old. Derek Dorsett, a 20-year-old. And when you've got 20-year-olds on your hockey club, boy, I've said this many, many times, they better be your top-end players. Darren Helm, a pretty good 19-year-old on that line as well. And there's no doubt in my mind that Derek Dorsett, when he's playing for this Medicine Hat Tiger team, I believe that because he plays every shift like it's his last, and he is such a clutch playoff performer. Dorsett in 42 games played in the playoffs. Dorsett in his career, Dan, has 21 goals. And you're a real clutch performer. You're able to do that. Sexsmith, boy, has he answered all questions, huh? About whether you can win with a young kid between the pipes.
These 2 goalies are the MVPs, if you ask me. Let's hear Willie Desjardins talking about how important home ice can be.
Well, I think it's for every series. You know, home ice is big, and you know, you got to work hard for that. And sometimes it pays off for you, sometimes it doesn't. But you know, I'm certainly glad to be playing at home tonight.
Well, he says his team was really prepared for a Game 7 when they played the Red Deer Rebels earlier, and they came in here in Game 7, Dan, and it was a 2-0 win, a very convincing, a very solid win by Desjardins and his Tigers. But I don't know if anything can prepare you for a Game 7 overtime.
That is Rick Dirksen from the league headquarters on the ice, making sure, again, just what we were talking about. They don't want to leave anything to chance here.
Well, let me tell you, I'm going to be facetious a bit here, but if they can't play it because the ice is bad, what better way to have a co-champion?
I'm predicting that won't happen.
No.
Vancouver Giants are about 95 hours away from their next game. That'll be Friday night, Memorial Cup, game number 1.
They're playing Lewiston, if I'm not mistaken.
No, they'll play the Plymouth team
Whalers
first, and then Medicine Hat will play Lewiston the next afternoon. And you can see the fans here. Don't think the fire marshal minds too much a couple of youngsters on the aisles, but they are crammed in here, believe me. Look at this crowd. They just keep waving towels. They've had an emotional last 2 nights in this building, to be sure. When Vancouver tied the game 3-3 last night with a couple of, wow, weird goals, to say the least. They were spent at that point, and then Helm lifted them from their seats once more for their 4-3 goal, which went on to be the game-winning goal, which forced the Game 7 here tonight.
The last Game 7 that the Tigers played for the WHL title was back in 1987 against the Portland Winterhawks, and they won Game 6 and Game 7, both in Medicine Hat. And then they went on to win the Memorial Cup. A.J. Thielen had this to say about playing in Game 7 of this Western Hockey League Championship.
Definitely, you know, growing up, just like I said, you know, it's a street hockey's dream. Out there with your buddies, playing pond hockey, you know. Game 7, Stanley Cup, Memorial Cup, you know, this is what you dream about.
Well, it gives the fans a chance to give the Tigers another standing ovation because they've all come on the ice. Players from both teams to stretch their legs, as we've now had what we'll call a lengthy delay here.
See, that problem with the ice right back there is one of the areas, well, it's the area the Zamboni goes off, and sometimes the blade cuts a little bit deeper there than you'd like it to be, and they had some problems with that logo on the ice, but I don't know, the door's closed behind the goaltenders. I think they're ready to go. How's your voice?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm just amazed at how these players, these youngsters, can keep bringing it up one more level when you think that there's no more levels to climb.
You know, they do a lot of hard skating drills in practice, and there isn't a coach that doesn't say, guys, this is for the games that you're in overtime. This is for the games that you're going to have to give it that little bit extra. You've given it all you've got. Give us a little bit more. And I am surprised at how the intensity level has maintained that pace. But the thing, too, Dan, as we enter the puck drop here, you got to make sure now you're disciplined, both teams, to get off the ice at time on a line change.
Well, here we go. It's what they do play road hockey all about. You can go to one end of the ice and win a championship. You go to the other end of the ice and you can lose a championship. Who's going to be the victorious team tonight? Blum up to Mahachik. Mahachik now to Bliznak. He throws it towards the slot area, intercepted by Stevens. Here's Mahachik floating one wide of the net. Bliznak puts it back at the goal. Sure, the coach has said any shot's a good shot. Just put shots on goal. The Cardinals shoots one, and that went off the target. Mahachik. Tigers clear it out. Giants may have been too many men on the ice. They get away with it. Blum back in his own zone, being hounded there by Stevens. Couldn't quite see it on these near boards, but it looked like too many men. Here's a centering pass. Intercepted, and the Giants able to get it out. Repik now to Lucic. Lucic in over the line, back for Repik, and it rolls off his stick, and Bosch gets it to Baldwin. Baldwin up for Bosch, off his stick. Regner, Lucic. Now Wasey Rabbit. Repik shoots it in. Schlemko. Thielen trying to cut it off, could not. Regner with the puck. Baldwin. Cross ice it goes. It's Schlemko. Schlemko sends it in. Regner quickly gloves it down and moves it out up to Cunningham. How about this situation for young Cunningham out on the ice? And Boma lines up glass but misses him. Jared Sauer puts it out. Festerling hammers it right back in again. Glass gets to it first. Lost the puck momentarily, but Undershoot chops it down the ice. It hit a glove, I think, at the bench, so we'll get a face-off in the neutral zone.
One of the things in overtime, as important any time in the game, but maybe a little bit more important, this is a good job of back-checking by Colton Grant. Right there, see him, 12 White, takes his man, that allows that puck to become free. Tigers take over. And that's something, again, that's so important. Locate your check quickly and get there fast. That's the whole secret of playing good defensive hockey.
Shot into Sexsmith, and he's going to glove it and then hold it.
Now these face-offs, as they always do, are so important, maybe a little bit more so in overtime.
Indeed.
Dorset in the middle of it all. In fact, as that puck was dropped at the start of overtime, Dan looked over there, and McCardle and Dorset were still going at each other a little bit. Man, he just won't quit.
It started before the first puck was dropped in Game 1 and into overtime in Game 7. What a sidebar story that has been. Dorset on the draw with Bliznak. Tigers force it in front of the net. Mahachik gets it, plays it down the ice. Will this be far enough? I think it is. It's icing on Vancouver. Remember, you cannot make a line change when you ice the puck.
You know, the crowd was really, again, really loud before this puck was dropped. Simply, they knew the significance of this face-off. This is in the offensive zone. Dorset, their fan favorite, in that circle. And again, the Giants do a good job of making sure there wasn't a Tiger going to the net with it.
Face-off won by the Tigers. But Mahachik gets possession of the puck. Mahachik getting it out of his own zone. Bliznak couldn't control it. Russell does. He flips it back inside the line. Blum up for Bliznak as it gets cautious now, and why not? McCardle giving chase. He and Michael Sauer collide. Tigers get it to the line. They can't get it out. Mahachik now to McCardle. McCardle McArdle in front of the net. Puck is sitting there and Keatley's got it. Krause shoots it well after the whistle, but even though the puck's in, the whistle clearly blew first.
McArdle's so quick. He's got the quick feet, not only on a straightaway, but in tight quarters. Gets away from Sauer, his check, stops, the puck goes the other way. He tries to wrap around on the short side there, but again, the Tigers doing a very good job this time and jamming up anything on that short side. Boy, Keatley's been good in going from post to post.
It'll take an obvious penalty to call a penalty, even though the power play's 5-1 for Medicine Hat. Sauer kind of got away with a bit of a hold on McArdle, but it's going to take something way more than that. From the faceoff, J.D. Watt can't get a shot away, and now the puck is flipped out. One of these kids is going to be a hero tonight. Who's it going to be? Grant, shot on goal. Thielen gobbles up the rebound. Up for J.D. Watt. Watt trying to send it to right. Could be an offside here. Baldwin has time to move it and does. But he hands it right to Krause. Krause does not get it in deep the first time. Jonathan Blum now controls the puck. And the stick came up high, no call. Watt was just trying to dump it in. That went in off Helm's visor. Well, again, that would have been a tough call because it was certainly an accident, but you're also responsible for your stick, so you at home decide. Repic. The fans here have decided. Here's a chance for Rabbit, but he can't get his stick on it. Lucic in the corner. Helm, he was the one who was high stick. He gave it to Repic. Repic gets a little room, shoots, deflects off the target. Lucic with the puck. Not for long. Undershoot, starts back. He rolls it in. Festerling has it. As we hit the 4-minute mark, sudden death, game number 7. Rabbit going in. Rabbit coming off the corner boards. Lucic, back of the net, can't get possession. Still loose in the corner. And the puck is flipped out of the Vancouver territory. Will it be icing? Yes, it is. Well, there's lots going on in the building too, isn't there?
Well, this is what got the fans really into it in a hurry here. Not that they haven't been into it, but it really got them up a little bit. Watch this play at the center ice area. Watt trying to get that puck in deep. Gets that stick up right in the face of Helm. Helm checks for blood, checks his teeth, seems to be okay, or is he? No, in fact, well, he's certainly being attended to.
He won't miss a shift, we know that. Offensive zone faceoff for Vancouver is won, but Thielen cannot hold the puck in. Thielen up the ice to Mahacek. He flips it in. Remember, Vancouver's been playing with 5 defensemen in this series since game 4. And I sense some fog on the ice, Bill. I don't know if you could see some of it on there, but it's starting to get a little foggy down there as well. So warm in the building as the puck goes out of play at the Medicine Hat bench. Well, there's a good view of the fog. You can see that on your TV set at home.
Not only going to slow these guys down one bit. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's the only players that may have a trouble with that are the goaltenders and trying to pick up a shot out of the fog, but
they picked up everything else.
The goaltenders have, there just hasn't been a mistake made by a goalie.
35 shots for Vancouver, 25 for Medicine Hat. In the overtime so far, 3 for Vancouver. Here's Festerling, tips off the target. That's his shot, and that's what you think might be the winner is a tip-in, but who knows? Here's Helm. Helm with Ennis. Helm dishes the puck off. There's a shot in front of the net, and Festerling breaks it up and starts back for Vancouver. Now it's J.D. Watt. Watt rolling it in. Festerling jumps on it. Festerling throws it at Keatley. And Festerling was hit by Benfield after he put the puck on net. Now Tigers move the puck out to the neutral zone. Lead pass. Here's Watt cutting in a goal. J.D. Watt can't get a shot away. Now he does finally get one. Boma with the puck. Boma to right. Back to Regner. Regner dishes it off to Thielen. Thielen's shot is knocked down and it flips over top the net as Vancouver puts on pressure. Tiger has lost his stick, but they're able to get it out to the neutral zone, and Grant giving chase. Grant for the Tigers is offside. And it calms down again, and J.D. Watt's all upset because he thought maybe he was impeded with the breakaway.
J.D. Watt, 32 goals on the season, led the Giants. He's got 2 in the playoffs. Thought he may have had one right there, at least have a chance for it, but Gordie Baldwin, big 6'5" guy, closed the gap on him. Look at that fog, it's amazing. Does a good job of throwing his body out, reaching for the stick, not making real good contact by the looks of things on J.D. Watt, and hence no penalty call.
No penalty should have been called. That's a great defensive play by Baldwin. Now we have a discussion. Russell, the captain, talking to the two officials out at the penalty box area. And you can see the fog might be starting to be a concern here. Shades of Buffalo in 1975.
We're having a discussion about it right now. I think it's got to get a fair amount worse than that. I think one of the linesmen right now has gone down to ask Sexsmith if he can see the puck okay. Wouldn't be surprised somebody goes down to Keatley. Although is it worse than one end, Dan?
Not really, but up here it looks like it's not too bad. But when you see the lower camera at work, you can see where there is some fog. There, right there. It doesn't look terrible, but it's not. You know, it is Game 7 overtime. I mean, they're just. I mean, you sometimes think you gotta give these kids the absolute best opportunity to decide things. And right now, you can see that Andy Thiessen. There's one end of the conversation, and there's the other with Kevin Minch, director of officiating. And he's saying, I can't really hear you. It's loud in here. And he says, join the club. It's very loud down here, too. And it's quite suffocatingly hot, I might add. And isn't this a heck of a game?
I don't know. I mean, it just, I kind of think that you kind of get used to this a little bit. The key is, will your goaltenders be able to see the puck? But I don't know. I mean, I've never seen this. I mean, other than that National Hockey League game you referred to, I mean, it's probably the last thing those guys up there
that's not foggy in that booth
thought would happen in this game. I mean, it's maybe one way to slow the players down. There haven't been many other ways. Well, it's up about waist high now. It's up sort of at the midsection. I think once it gets up around the face area.
I think there's a message being sent here. I mean, we've had Game 7 overtime. We couldn't decide it. We had a logo problem at the end. We can't decide it. Now we got fog. I'm still thinking it's co-winners or let's come back tomorrow.
Co-winners. Didn't they? You know what I think they've been told is get the guys out, skate around a little bit and kind of dissipate the fog.
And that sometimes does happen.
But it's building up pretty quick. Oh, this is weird. See any ghosts in all that?
Not yet.
The ghosts of Lanny McDonald in there anywhere? Tom Lysiak?
Yeah.
Trevor Linden?
Yeah. So many great Tigers have played here over the years, to be sure. How about Tom Lysiak or Kelly Rudy or Don Murdoch or Chris Osgood or Joffrey Lupul or Jim Nill or Jay Bowmeister, or I can keep going.
And even though they're alive, they can sort of appear in all that.
Junior Ghosts.
It's Junior Ghosts. There you go.
And here we go. A series that's had everything in it is now having a fog delay. Well, maybe somewhere the ghost of Fred Shiro is smiling down at a fog delay.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, it'll move it for a bit, but I'm not so sure it won't build up just as quick. It is hot in here. We haven't been able to put on our jackets. I don't think Don Hay has seen this before either.
And he's seen everything.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, you know, while we're looking at the coach there, Hay, and we'll look at Desjardins, I'm sure. I mean, let's just salute both of these coaching staffs. I mean, you can't believe how coaching has been upgraded over the years in the Western League. I mean, there's more resources, and that's not to take a thing away from the people who worked so hard building this league over the years, but I'll tell you what, these staffs are so well prepared. The days are gone that you wouldn't. I mean, you had one coach in the old days, maybe an assistant the odd time on a home game. Not anymore.
That's the assistant coach there of the Tigers.
No,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, you're right, Dan. I mean, video has been such a big thing, and what I'm always impressed about the coaches at this level is how they make their practices so game-like. I can tell you, both of these teams are not unused to the intensity that's being displayed on the ice, because I got to believe they both practice that way. They've had one-on-one situation. Their drills are intense. They're prepared for exactly this kind of action.
Okay, the fog delay is over. For how long, we don't know. They may have solved it for a while. Maybe we'll have a goal in the interim. And here we go again. We played 5 minutes and 50 seconds of sudden death in game number 7. Dan Russell and Bill Wilms at the Medicine Hat Arena. Next goal wins the championship. Mahachik can't keep it in. Dorsett. He lost it. Russell plays it over to Michael Sauer. Sauer just sends it back to the Vancouver line. Festerling gets it there. Offside Dorsett, and it's become cautious, and I don't blame the players one iota.
Well, the thing you don't want to have happen is those pucks turned over at the opposing blue line, because you've got defense that can break up the ice in a hurry. I can assure you that both coaches have warned their players, and constantly, virtually every shift, going to say, if you haven't got to play, if you're crossing the blue line, dump it in, get it in deep.
Clock has just struck 10 p.m. Mountain Time. Vancouver Giants have a charter plane waiting for them to take them back. Question is, will there be another passenger in that championship trophy? Nicholson out of his own zone. Pass picked off. Schlemko's got it. Schlemko plays it to Baldwin. Baldwin, lead pass. Here comes Grant. Grant on his backhand up front for Lowry to roll off his stick. Lowry puts it back of the net. Grant trying to center it, still has possession. Trying to find Lowry, could not. Keelan takes off Grant from the puck, and it comes off the boards at a funny angle out to the neutral zone. Again sent back in. And here's A.J. Phelan. Phelan up to Mickelson. Lucic missed it. It goes back into Giant territory. Phelan. Back of the net. Out he comes. And you have to be careful for both teams that you're not stripped of the puck as the last man back. J.D. Watt. Checked by Undershoot. Wasden trying to get it in deep. Undershoot will try to get it in deep. I guess everybody's trying to. Festerling. He gets a chance. Finally, it's right. It gets it in deep. And Russell first to it around these boards. Krause trying to cut it off, could not. Undershoot. Forcing it out. Dorsett trying to find a little bit of room. Watt checks him. And they collide. No penalty. Here comes Wright. Off the boards, and Sauer checked him. Great play by Sauer to check Wright. Here comes a 2-on-1. Stevens with Dorsett. Stevens passes, and this is Dorsett. Blum starts back, and now we're going to open up. Blum, where are we? He shoots it in. Tigers get it. They clear it out. Stevens had to roll off his stick. Following it up was Glass. Now it's out of play at the bench area. And we'll get a face-off in the neutral zone. The best scoring chance. There's Stevens. He got hurt right in front of the bench. The best scoring chance of this overtime so far, just moments ago.
Jonathan Blum caught on a pinch. He's got to be asking himself, why did I do that? He's caught right at the Medicine Hat blue line right there. He doesn't get good possession or position. And that's Stevens coming up the ice with Dorsett. Fakes the shot. How close does this puck come to ending up on Dorsett's stick? The puck is just a little bit behind him. Festerling between him. And right on the back check. Those are all those little things. Don't get caught on a pinch at the opposing blue line. It's so much speed. Well, have a look at how did Stevens get hurt on the play. He's right across the front of his own bench. There is a collision. Stevens down. They can ill afford to lose Chris Stevens.
Tigers flip the puck out. Helm loved it, but he couldn't control it. Here comes Mahachik. He's checked nicely. Here comes Helm and Ennis. Ennis going wide, shooting it. Sexsmith saved. Pretty healthy rebound there. Gobbled up by the Tigers. It's Helm playing it to Baldwin. Baldwin shoots it, deflects off the target. Helm from the sharp angle throws it in front. McCardle gets it and sends it down the ice. This will be icing as the Tigers put on pressure.
Spencer Mahachuk, I talk about turnovers at the opposing team's blue line. That's a draw pass that just doesn't go to anybody. You want that in deep, and this is a guy that can move, fly, shoot off the fly, Tyler Ennis, and that is a pretty big rebound Sexsmith gives out, but I don't think he had much choice on that one. That puck, he did everything he could to get his pad on it.
Battle on the face-off. Giants had it for a moment. Tigers had it for a moment. Tigers have it again. They throw it in front of the crease. Big scramble. No whistle yet. Still no whistle. Where's the puck? Somewhere in there, the puck has been held out, it appears, by Tyson Sexsmith, but only barely.
Well, there's scramble. There's action. Question is, maybe is there a hand on on the puck in the crease. Yeah, we'll have a look. Nothing seen there. Take a look from our overhead. Sexsmith tight on the post. There's the puck. Well, Bliznak does get his hand on it, but it's well out of the crease, I think.
Well, and then Sexsmith came over, and I think he got the puck too. Well, that might have saved a penalty shot. Well, that would have been something.
Wow.
As if we haven't had enough of the somethings.
Fans, again, think different, and why not?
Well, the officials are getting lots of help in here. That's for sure. Face-off offensive zone for the Tigers, and they win the face-off. Stevens lost the puck though. Lucic, his pass behind Repik. Up it goes. Here's Rabbit. Holding it, passing it, Blum shooting it, and it deflects off the target in the fog again. Oh, it's foggy down there again. And the goalies might have trouble. Festerling gets the puck. Now it's Blum. Blum plays it up. And here comes Russell. Russell going in, shooting! And Sexsmith makes the save. Wow. What an overtime.
Wasey Rabbit, boy, does that have patience right there. He waits till Blum gets in position to take that shot. Lucic can't get in front as the Tigers come up the ice and all that fog. There's that shot. Sexsmith in a good spot to grab it, make the save. Shots on goal, 35-27. That means they're 3-3 each in the overtime. They may call for the players to come out and skate around a little bit.
Well, they're talking about it, but I don't think they are this time. But we're not far from another fog delay, I don't think. I mean, Willie Desjardins, he doesn't. Well, I'm not sure what he wants over there. He's never quite happy with the officials, it seems.
Well, you might be able to tell on the shot that the Tigers come in on. I mean, it's Sexsmith does make the save. It's I mean, can you see the puck in all that area right there? I mean, I've played golf in fog situations where you don't know where your ball is, but you got to be able to find that puck, don't you?
I play without fog, and I don't know where my ball goes.
Yeah. Now here they go again.
Second fog delay if you're scoring at home with us.
And you can tell the player's not real happy about having to do this. There's, again, not a whole lot of speed in their skate around, nor well should there be. Now, I thought about something earlier. I mean, it may never happen, but Derek Dorsett, such a volatile, aggressive hockey player that he is, and we've seen so much of him in this series, you know, being a Columbus Blue Jacket draft, is it possible if he can get to that level that he and Brûlé might be on the same team?
Oh, sure.
One time, and having said that, that'd be two pretty agitating type players to play up there, yeah?
Yeah, but Chris Russell's a very calm guy.
Yeah.
He'll be in there to just settle everybody down.
Yeah.
He's a Columbus Blue Jacket as well. Well, if you're just joining us, 10:22 to go in the... Well, first of all, if you're just joining us, where have you been? Yeah. Second of all, we're in sudden death overtime, 2-2. And we've almost hit the halfway point of the first overtime period. It's the second OT of this series. The first one was settled by Trevor Glass in the first minute on a 4-on-4 situation, 32 seconds into the overtime of game number 3 back at the Pacific Coliseum.
We just had a look at Chris Stevens. He went a stretch of 119 straight games over 2 seasons, Stevens did, without missing one. Was a healthy stretch after that. That's the only game he's missed.
There's Craig Bonner working alongside Don Hay as referee Kyle Raymond.
Talked about that the other day too, Dan. If you know, Craig Bonner's handling the defense as he is, and you got to rotate 5 guys out there without Cody Frenchman, and it's maybe a little tougher and kind of just meets the eye. You don't have those 3 pairings of 2 each.
And I take that back. Willie Desjardins seems happy now with what the officials have done. And here we go again. And remember, next goal wins. All these delays, you kind of get lulled a little bit while they skate around and try to get rid of fog.
You see what happened on that face-off from the Vancouver Giants zone. They do the wraparound. You win the draw, and you just simply wrap that puck around the boards and get it up on the other side and have your offside, your weak side winger try to deflect it in the neutral ice area, deflected it down the ice for icing.
Offensive zone face-off won by the Tigers. Dane Todd trying to get a shot away, could not. Nicholson now up for Boma. Boma tipping the puck out to center ice. Todd has it. He and J.D. Watt collide. Krause trying to protect the puck. Brings it in over the line. Dorsett checking him, but it goes to Boma. Watt's in front of the net. There's a shot. There's a rebound. Watt stopped by Keatley. Wow, what a save by Keatley with the pad. Unbelievable. J.D. Watt with Vancouver's best chance, and he has the puck again only for a moment. One Flame draft pick stopped by another to keep this series going. Blum taps the puck at the bench here. Again, the fans complaining for too many men on the ice. It's shot into Vancouver territory, and Jonathan Blum has it. He switches back for Brent Festerling. Festerling. Hard pass up the boards to Michael Repik. Repik up to Milan Lucic. Lucic stops, waits, holds, shoots it off the side of the net. Lucic set up the screen and put it right 5-hole between the defensemen and hit the side of the net. Lucic trying to work it in front. Here's Rabbit. Here's Repik. Repik shot off the side of the goal. Big time pressure now for Vancouver. Blum. Festerling shoots it wide off the end boards. Schlemko cuts it off. Tigers get it out. Undershoot. 2-on-2 with Jared Sauer. Undershoot. Shoots the puck in. Blum will get it. Blum on the end boards. He's hit. Lucic gets it. Up it goes to Cunningham. Cunningham gets it in deep, and he'll give chase. He and Russell. Russell switches it to Bosch. He's hit by Kane. The kids have a chance for the Vancouver Giants in Game 7 overtime. Talk about confidence as Don Hay sends out Cunningham and Kane in sudden death OT.
Well, another rookie gets a chance here after Tim Krause does a good job of creating that puck along the wall, tapping it ahead to Lance Boma. There's the shot. That rebound right out to J.D. Watt. That is clearly the best save for Keatley in this overtime. Krause so close, or rather Watt so close to giving Vancouver the win.
J.D. Watt this year, 34 goals. He would have taken all 34 of them back for that one, as they are called for icing, Vancouver is. And again, a reminder, you cannot change your players on an icing.
There's a guy whose eyes get awful big in overtime when you know that the skill level, the quickness, the ability to handle the puck, the ability to see the ice that Chris Russell has. One little play by that guy can make a big difference in this game in a hurry.
Neither team has used their timeout. Sometimes when you ice the puck, the coach will use timeout just to get a little bit of a rest. Don Hay elected not to do that. That was okay for the Giants because they got out of it. McArdle gets it to Mahachik. Bliznak is in front. Mahachik fell. McArdle goes in there trying to get the puck against Russell. McArdle does get the puck. He'll try a wraparound, but 2 or 3 Tigers sensing that they were there to cut it off. Russell gets possession. Plays it up the boards. Ends up on the stick of Todd. Todd tied the game in the 3rd period. Rolls it at Sexsmith, who turned it aside. The Giants get it the line. Not out. Here's Glashoff shot. That's knocked down by Festerling. And it's a good thing for Vancouver because I don't think the goalie would have seen it. Festerling was right in front of him. And we know Glass can find the target in overtime. Giants get it the line. Not out. Benfield shot. Sexsmith uses his blocker, turns it aside. Glass again, over to Benfield. Benfield shooting it off the side of the backboards, trying to get it in front. He'll try again, and it's just failed to be redirected in front of the net. Wasden was there. Benfield trying to get it off his stick. Tiger fans come alive again as they put on some pressure. Helm off the bench, but Kane gets the puck. Can't get it out the first time. Undershoot now has it. Undershoot will shoot the puck back in. Goes back to the net. Mickelson gets it as the fog builds up once more. Around the boards it goes. Mickelson, or Schlemko holds it in. Now to Bosch. Throws it in front, and Sexsmith cuts it off and holds on.
There again, there's that fog as you see Sexsmith on the ice, but yeah, there was a play earlier where Scott Wasden was one tiny redirect away from changing the direction of that puck in the slot area. This is the last chance. Bosch, you know, sometimes that fog, might you lose some of those smaller guys in that fog. You know, they're small to begin with. Hey, where is he? That puck gets to the net. And also crashing the front of the net right there was Darren Helm looking for a rebound.
There's Tyler Ennis, throws the puck in front of the net. And a great chance by Bosch. Ennis again in tight quarters. There's the guy you can lose in fog. Sauer from the line. Plays it down to Helm. Shot! And Sexsmith turns it aside. Big pressure now for the Tigers. Helm protecting the puck. Rabbit trying to check him. He does. And it's flipped high, but not out. Oh, yes, it does. It comes back outside the line. And it's either offside or a glove hand pass.
Tyler Ennis scoring that overtime winner against the Calgary Hitmen earlier this season, comes from behind the net, throws it in front in a real hurry, and then that little dipsy doodle, he's so good at that. He could create in that tiny little space, make more changes of direction. Again, he keeps you really on your toes as the Tigers try to get it to the front of the net unsuccessfully.
14 minutes gone in sudden death overtime. Medicine Hat in Vancouver, 2-2 tie. Tigers shoot the puck in. Sexsmith doesn't even think about going back at the net to block it. Nicholson gets possession. Trying to get some room, he'll get some now. And out of the zone he comes. Lead pass right on the tape of Bowman trying to get loose. Bowman can he get a goal? And it rolls off his stick at the last moment. Bowman just couldn't get a shot away. Good play there on the lead pass. And now it's Dorsett getting it out to the center ice area. Shot back in again. Regner able to put it in and Keatley blocks it. Giants making a change. Tigers out of their zone slowly. Lead pass, Stevens tips it in. It's Medicine Hat's turn to make a change. But meantime, Jared Sauer, good work on the end boards. Sauer turning, throwing it at the net, and Sexsmith gobbles it up once more.
Nicholson so good on the stretch pass, you can do that. There it is to Boma. He had a chance earlier. Boy, Benfield really does a nice job of fighting him off to the outside, knocks that puck loose enough that it cannot be picked up in the skates of Boma and get from Boma's skates to his stick. And we remain tied at 2.
So much for the early end to overtime. And we're going to have another fog delay, I think, Bill. The teams are being asked to come out again. This is the third time in the overtime that the players have been asked to come out, skate around, and get rid of the fog.
Yeah, there's really nothing. I mean, I don't know what. It's just the building's that warm. Wasn't that particularly warm a day in Medicine Hat? It can be 20, 25 above at this time of the season. And oh, yeah, exactly. And you know, it's awful when we're here. It was kind of rainy, just very average.
Let's go to Barry Strader. Barry.
Thanks very much, Dan. I'm with the Commissioner of the Western Hockey League, Ron Robinson. Ron, we have an unusual situation here tonight with the fog. How is the Western Hockey League dealing with it?
Well, we certainly had a little bit of everything in the series, obviously tonight's game as well, but we're really concerned about the visual ability of the players to see the puck and make sure from a goaltender standpoint in particular that they don't have any difficulty in that area, and the safety of the players as well has to be taken into account. But seems to be working with the players coming out periodically to clear the humidity from the ice.
At what point would the league consider calling this game and finishing it tomorrow maybe?
Well, I think there'd be a riot in Medicine Hat if we did that, obviously. You know, we'll play this game out. The ice conditions appear to be good. We've corrected that problem behind the net, and we just got to deal with the building, quite frankly, that's not capable of handling this type of humidity.
That's what you were saying earlier. It's just a fact that these buildings were not constructed to be playing hockey in the middle of May.
Well, that's right. When you get a 30, 40-year-old building like this, many of them don't have the air conditioning systems, circulation that we need, and but we're going to deal with it and get through it.
Okay, well, hopefully we can get through this game tonight. Thanks very much for joining us, Ron.
Thanks, Barry.
Let's go back up to Dan.
Thanks, Barry. Offensive zone face-off for Medicine Hat. 5:03 on the clock remaining in the first overtime. Sudden death. Wasden on the face-off. Goes forward with it, and a shot on goal. Stop, the rebound is right there, and Sexsmith puts his glove over top of it again. They went forward that time on the face-off, Bill.
Well, let's take a look at it. We get a good look right off that face-off. It does go forward, and Undershoot jumps in ahead of everybody there. It's not, you know, nobody on that Vancouver defense has got 20 white. They let him get in there home free, and he almost goes upstairs over the shoulder.
Vancouver wins a face-off, but Festerling is tied up and he can't move the puck. The Tigers jumping on it. Here's Dorsett right in front of the net again! And Sexsmith is unhappy with something. Oh, look at the pushing and shoving. We could have 4-on-4 hockey here before you know it, which would give even more ice room, but Dorsett made his presence felt as he went right into the crease area.
Yeah, that's exactly. With the game on the line, Dorsett's going to get to that spot. Good job. Dorsett keeps it alive in the corner, and then 15 white goes to the front of the net. Kraus on the check. McCardle's there as well. Sexsmith there to make the save, and then that pushing and shoving behind the net.
Well, who's 4-on-4 favor, Bill?
Yeah.
Medicine Hat's been pretty good in the 4-on-4s. This might be something they'll like here.
Well, it's a stat that I read in the paper. I'm sorry I don't have it. I heard you allude to it a little bit earlier. There were a lot of goals that were scored 4-on-4 when Medicine Hat was playing 4-on-4 against Vancouver.
Either 5-on-4 or 4-on-4. I mean, they've scored a lot with only 4 Vancouver players on the ice.
This guy here with the puck, he loves it, Mickelson.
Repik in over the line. Repik throws it in front. Comes back to Festerling. Festerling puts it to the corner. The only overtime of this series was settled 4-on-4. Mickelson has it. Now it's Repik. Repik hits the line, takes the shot. That's blocked. He's trying to follow it up. Puck left sitting there. Here's a chance for Thielen, and his shot goes off the target. I think Schlemko dove over there to get a piece of it. If he did, that was a great play by Schlemko. Here's Russell. Russell. Oh, he loves 4-on-4. Watch him go. Russell throws it in front of the net. And McArdle intercepts, goes back the other way. McArdle has Bliznak on his right. McArdle, he can fly too. McArdle putting on the brakes. Waiting, trying to find somebody to pass to. It's Thielen who has to reach to grab it. Throws it at the net. And that was knocked down in front. Glass throws it around the boards. Ennis trying to tap it out. 1 chance, 2 chance, 3 chance, 4 chances for Ennis. And on the 5th one, they do get it out. But Festerling brings it right back in again. He shoots it wide of the net. Festerling gets possession of his own rebound. Back to McArdle. Centers it. Oh, and it was a wide open chance for Lucic. If the puck was on his tape, it was not. And the Giants have to go back into their own zone. Tip back into Tiger territory or not? No, icing called on Vancouver.
Well, 4-on-4 at this point, the first part of it, it still has 28 seconds to go. Looked like it favored Giants. They had a little more jump. They had that puck into the offensive zone. The best chance probably off the back wall came to Lucic. He wasn't quite prepared to receive that pass. He was high in the slot area, was unable to handle it. These defense are so challenged, so tested when it is 4-on-4. And as you said, one of the games settled that way on the Trevor Glass goal.
From the offensive zone faceoff for Medicine Hat, it's Dane Todd in tight quarters. Todd from back of the net, turns around, puts it right through the goal crease area. Oh, the Tigers just love those plays in tight. They sense that's how they can get the game winner here. Mickelson. 4-on-4 almost done. McArdle, he'll shoot the puck in. Penalized players coming back onto the ice. Lucic throws it in front. Dorsett intercepts. Here he comes. Dorsett gaining some more speed, but they're offside at the line.
You talk about the Tigers loving those plays around the net. They are better in this area here than a lot of teams in the league. Turn around, spin arounds. You do that play, make that little move right there like Dane Todd does. That can easily bounce off the stick of Festerling or somebody else in front of the net and change directions. And wouldn't that be a funny way or a different way? Or maybe it's happened many times in overtime decided that way. But they are buzzsaws.
Undershoot gets the puck back to the net. Thielen around the boards. Cut off for a moment, but Watt gets it out. Watt has the best Vancouver chance of this overtime. He was robbed by Keatley a while back as the puck is knocked down with a high stick.
Real pressure on the coaches at this point too to make sure that your line shifts are short. You know, whether you like it or not, there's a lot of coaching done where you call players off the ice, and you know you've got to be able to make that call even in the crowd noise sometimes. And you know those players got to respond in the right way. Get off the ice in a hurry. It's 30-second shifts and then you're gone.
Another offside stopping the play. Fog starting to build up ever so slightly again. They might be able to get through the next 2 minutes here without another fog delay.
Guys like Blum, guys like Russell, those defensemen that can identify the passing lanes while on the move. That's the advantage of being a skating defenseman, is you can create a lot of offense, but when you're going at top speed like some of these guys are able to do, then you've got to be able to know where to go with that puck.
Festerling shoots the puck in. Then he reaches to keep it in. Over to Lucic, but it's a glove hand pass that stops the play.
Well, I'd say we probably are another, well, they're 2:05 left. They're probably trying to get through the period, but it's getting awfully close to another fog skate. Dissipate the fog. Face off just outside the Medicine Hat blue line. late in the period, never mind late in overtime, you got to have guys on the ice you trust the most. Guys that won't turn that puck over.
Russell out of his own zone. Now to Stevens. Stevens will get it in deep. Back of the net, Festerling and Dorsett are going to battle for the puck, and Dorsett lined up Festerling, who just ducked out of the way and then is able to move the puck out. Festerling's been great for Vancouver in the championship series, but there's been lots of great efforts on both sides. And here's Helm cutting in. Second chance, Stevens! Right on the doorstep again. And even we're having trouble in the fog picking up the puck from our location up here in the rafters of the Medicine Hat Arena.
You know, this is a pass that the Tigers make after Helm gets it to that right wing. He gets it back and he's just throwing it blindly to the front of the net, hoping that that puck is going to get through. That's a sprawling Vancouver defenseman. We can't see his number. That stops that play initially, but it ends up getting through, and that's as far as it gets.
18.5 minutes gone in the overtime. Again, on the face-off, in tight quarters, the Tigers try to make something happen. There's a slap shot block. Another chance. Here's Glass again. Shooting. Tipped on the way, and Bosch just fails on the rebound to collect the puck. Oh, Bosch was right there, but the puck was just not going to lie flat for Brennan Bosch, the 18-year-old from Martinville, Saskatchewan.
Just outside of Saskatoon, Glass with the shot. There's that rebound. Bosch, number 9 for Medicine Hat. He's got an opportunity position-wise as a blocker save is made. That puck never cleanly lands. In that situation, you're hoping like heck that puck lands flat for you. You don't want a bouncer in that situation.
Schlemko puts the puck towards the net. Here's Jared Sauer. Festerling has lost his stick, and he's got to make a decision. He decides to go back for his stick while the Tigers get the puck. Here's a centering pass. Again, somebody lost their stick. This time it's Rabbit. Two Giants losing their stick, and it might be costly, but instead a stick actually saves them there as it's deflected by a Vancouver player on a play.
Yeah, that's a real problem when you're already, you know, in a tough situation in that you don't have possession of the puck. You are a defenseman. You don't have the stick. You got to get a lot of help from your supporting cast, and that's exactly what happened as that puck was deflected up into the netting. Face-off as where you see it.
And the Giants win a face-off in their own zone. Blum, his pass out to the neutral zone. We're in the last minute of the first overtime. And here's Dorsett with Helm. Helm trying to sneak past, but it's offside at the blue line. And none of the linesmen want to make a call that isn't correct, so the pressure's on everybody on the ice right now.
Absolutely outstanding entire playoff for Festerling. Equally good for Stevens. A couple 20-year-olds. Only 3 allowed on your team, and boy, they've been good ones on both these squads. Keatley, a 20-year-old, we might mention. Dorsett, the other one for Medicine Hat. Thielen, Festerling.
And Russell gets stripped of the puck.
Boy.
Here's Mahachik moving in, shooting, and Keatley makes that save. Michael Sauer back of the net. Lots of fog as McArdle tries to come out of that fog with the puck. Instead, it's Stevens. Still time here. Dorsett holding it. Dorsett, what's he gonna do? Shot on goal, rebound in front of the net, and Sexsmith holds it out. Mahachik gets possession. Oh, the slowest of developing plays there. Almost leads to the game-winning goal. And how about this? If one overtime isn't enough, can you stand double overtime in Game 7 of the Western Hockey League Championship Series?
This is how close we came to having this game, and Dorsett ragging that puck, waiting for it, getting the shot, getting his own rebound. Bliznak in front of the net does the job defensively right there on Todd. Nobody could get their stick on that puck. Credit Bliznak for making sure that Todd in front of the net was not going to get it right there. Dorsett was the only one that had a chance to get his own rebound, and we're still tied at 2 at the end of that first overtime period.
Tigers with 10 shots on goal in that period. 6 for Vancouver as we go down to Dan Elliott.
Well, it's a first for me, seeing a little fog bowl here in hockey. Seen it in football a number of times, but never in hockey. Wow. Coming up in the second overtime, we're going to talk to, well, who are we going to talk? We're talking to Craig Bonner, of course, the assistant coach, assistant GM for the Giants, see what he has to say about what his team needs to do to get it done here in the second overtime coming up. Plus, we'll have a ton more. Stick around. You're watching Game 7 of the WHL Final live from the arena here in Medicine Hat.
Welcome back to the Medicine Hat Arena. It is still 2-2 through 80 minutes of hockey now. We're getting ready for double overtime here in Game 7 of the Western Hockey League Finals. I'm joined by Craig Bonner, once again, assistant coach, assistant GM of the Vancouver Giants. Craig, first of all, let's talk about the fog situation. Obviously, it's becoming a major factor in this game. How bad is it out there?
Oh, it's bad, but you know, both teams are going through the same thing, and the refs have told us they're going to monitor it. And you know, when need be, the guys are going to, like they did that period, skate around and try and move it around a little bit. But it's definitely a factor out there, and I hope it doesn't have an effect on the outcome of the game.
What would be the biggest effect? Would it be on the goaltenders, just their ability to see the puck?
Yeah, I would think that's the guys that it affects the most, is the goaltenders, and if we keep going here any longer, all this skating around is going to tire our guys out. But yeah, I mean, the goalies are the ones that are the concern, but the refs say they're going to monitor it, so we'll trust their call.
You've been around the Western Hockey League a long time as a coach and as a player. Have you ever seen anything like this?
No, I haven't seen this in the Western League. I remember as a kid growing up seeing the Edmonton Oilers and Boston Bruins go through this, but first time I've seen it in the Western Hockey League. But you know, there's a first for everything, and it's interesting, but hopefully, like I say, it doesn't have an effect on the outcome of the game.
How about the game so far through 4 periods of play? Obviously very even out there. What are your thoughts on how the game has gone so far?
Oh, it's the same as the whole series has been. Both teams are good hockey teams, and both teams have a lot of pride and want to win the game. And there's chances both ways. Both goalies have been real good, and we just got to keep plugging away and hopefully get a greasy goal here.
I know the Giants have been talking all season long about getting to the Memorial Cup through the front door, earning your way there. I would think at this point in this series, there's really no such thing as a backdoor the way these two teams have played.
Oh, I agree. I think both teams deserve full kudos for this series. To go to, you know, Game 7, double overtime we're going into here with both teams knowing they're going to go to the Memorial Cup. I think it shows, you know, both organizations are proud organizations. Both teams want to win, and the Western Hockey League is a good league. There's a lot of good teams, and it's something to be proud of to win the Western Hockey League Championship.
Finally, Craig, what's it going to take here in the second overtime period to end this game?
Wow, we just got to keep plugging away here. It's probably going to be an ugly goal. You got to keep shooting the puck, and you never know what happens. We just got to stick with it and try to limit their opportunities, and when we get one, bear down.
Thanks, Craig. Good luck in the second overtime period.
Thank you.
It's Craig Bonner, the assistant coach and assistant GM of the Vancouver Giants. We're still tied going into a second overtime period here at the arena in Medicine Hat. Stay tuned. We've got more for you coming up after the break.
Welcome back to the arena in Medicine Hat through one overtime here in Game 7 of the WHL Final. Of course, we got ourselves a 2-2 time, joined now by Mike Bortolucci from the Tigers Sales and Marketing Department. And we were talking about it just off camera about how the Royal Bank Cup went to 5 overtimes in the semifinal. You think we're going to see that tonight? Say no. Say no.
No, I hope not. I think our fans are anticipating a quick victory here in the next overtime, so that's what we're rooting for.
Speaking of your fans, 192nd straight sellout here for Medicine Hat. What is it about these fans that they just love this hockey so much?
I think they're just passionate about hockey. You know, the coaching staff and the upper management's put a great product on the ice for us to work with, and what more can you ask for? Just, you know, we've got calls all the time to renew tickets, to get new tickets, so it's been really great to work with.
In terms of this community, you were in Moose Jaw last year. I know that. What do you compare in terms of these two communities here in the Western Hockey League?
Two great markets. I think you've got a niche for hockey fans, and you know that's the best part about the Western Hockey League is you can almost go into the smaller centers and count on great support.
In terms of this community, what kind of things do you guys do to get out there and show off this team? I mean, are these players involved in doing a lot of things out in the community?
Yeah, we've got some great partners through the corporate sponsorship to get our guys out. We've got a lot of our guys in reading programs, getting out, talking to kids about the benefits of a healthy lifestyle and the sacrifices they have to make to compete at this level.
Now, I know you guys provide a web TV on your website in terms of for the Medicine Hat Tigers. Maybe just talk a little bit what exactly that is.
That was brought on last year by the Tigers before I got here, and I've helped continue that this year. Tigers TV, you know, I almost think we're the only CHL team to actually offer home and away highlights through our website, so that's been great. Our fans love it. We get great reaction. We actually got a lot of calls when we couldn't get it up right away the other day. So we took some heat for that, but we got it up, and the same people responded saying thank you.
Yeah, I was going to say, obviously you're going to get a lot of people that love it, but when you're not getting it done in time, they're right on you.
They are, and that shows you how passionate they are for our guys when they're on the road. Well, for instance, when we go to the States for those 5-6 games, we get a lot of hits to the website the next day because they want to see how our guys did. And it's the same people that religiously listen to Bob Ridley through the radio.
All right, Mike, I appreciate you stopping by and joining us here in the first overtime intermission. Time now for take us one final break here before the start of the second overtime. It's 2-2 between the Giants and Tigers, Game 7 of the WHL Final. Better call the babysitter, tell her you're not going to be home just yet, because we go on to a second overtime. 2-2 in the WHL final between the Tigers and Giants. Just to recap who scored for everybody here: Tyler Ennerstein, Todd scoring for the Tigers, Wasey Rabbit and Michael Repick for the Giants. Let's head now upstairs to Dan and Bill. We got a little analysis through our 80 minutes of hockey.
Well, I don't know how much analysis, but I'll tell you, a lot of excitement here. Let me float another idea. They seem content to settle this championship. Now, with due respect to Lewiston and Plymouth, can we make this a double championship? Can we just have the whole Memorial Cup and the WHL decided on who scores next?
Dad, I stepped out of the booth for a couple minutes, and I must have had a half a dozen Medicine Hat fans I talked to. To a person, they said it's the best WHL hockey they have ever seen. Not this year, they have ever seen. It's the most exciting. It's hot. It's warm. There's chances. And really, analysis, right? You're right. There isn't a whole lot to talk about other than the chances. This is how close they came. Both teams came to ending it.
Well, let's look at the highlights here. And again, while you look at these highlights, remember that it's the sport that's winning. It's the league that's winning. There'll be no loser really tonight.
J.D. Watt thought he was maybe a little more home free than he was. Look at that fog there again. Watt being checked beautifully at the last second. This is Tim Krause making a really neat little play there to Boma. The rebound all the way out to J.D. Watt. I still think that's the best save Keatley's made in this hockey game. There's so much pressure on the line. Look at this. The Tigers try to go forward, undershoot. Tries to go upstairs over top of the goaltender. He's in very, very solid position. Dorsett. Todd on a spin around. Boy, that could have gone off the defenseman's skate in a hurry. Helm tries to get that pass across to Stevens. It's blocked beautifully by Bliznak. Goaltenders have to be so good in this situation. Russell, he'd like to get going. He doesn't get a full head of steam in that situation, and Mahashuk turns it over. Keatley, good save. This came late with about 5 seconds left in the overtime. When you get a look at it this time, I want you to watch Sexsmith. First of all, how he makes the play on Dorsett here, stays at the post, and then gets way over to the other side.
Wow.
Beautifully to make the rebound save.
Wow. Wow. Well, we didn't have to tell you there was no scoring. That's why we keep going here, but that's pretty nice stuff there by Sexsmith in goal, stopping 10 shots in that overtime. Vancouver had 6 shots on goal. And my only fear here tonight is that somebody doesn't shoot the puck over the glass and that it's settled that way.
We talked about that before, that stupid rule, the dumbest one on the book, has to be changed. You're in the 7th game in overtime, WHL Championship. You don't want that call. But I got to say, I am impressed with the refereeing job that Thiessen and Raymond have been doing here. And they just called that one infraction on both teams. They played 4-on-4 for a little bit of this first overtime, but they're letting these kids play and letting them decide it.
Officials have done a great job in the Western League all season. These are the 2 best as voted the last 2 years. The Al Paradise Trophy goes to the best referee, and Thiessen won it this year. Raymond won it the year before.
Now McCardle and Dorsett, I noticed in one of the starts, there they are again.
Yeah.
I don't know, they're talking, they're pushing, they're not going to go. I'll guarantee you they're not going to go. But look, a little stick work.
That would be something if they did go. Okay, and away we go, and here comes Dorsett, shooting it wide of the net. Big rebound, and Sexsmith gets over there. That might have hit the side of the net as well. I'm not sure if it hit the goalie or the goal, but it stayed out. Russell goes back to collect the puck as we start this double overtime. Stevens taking advantage of Mahachik's broken stick. Gets the puck up to Dorsett, he sends it in. Tigers elect to keep this shift pretty short, as do the Giants. Lucic getting the puck in, but it's called again at the blue line. I think it hit a glove at the Vancouver bench.
One of the things about Wasey Rabbit, you know, the Boston Bruins had to make a heck of a decision about him. He could have played in the ECHL, which is the East Coast Hockey League, and you know, the alternative was to play in the Memorial Cup with Vancouver, and obviously that's the best choice. Even if he had gone to the finals in this ECHL, this has been a better development for that guy this year, and he's shown it playing for Don Hay.
Regner hammers the puck in. Schlemko first to it on the backboards. Lucic trying to check him. Puck goes over to the line. Regner trying to gamble. He does for a moment to keep it in. It might pay off as Repik and Lucic have the puck down low. Lucic shows it in front. Here's Rabbit. Rabbit feathering it in front, but no Giant can get their stick on it, and Regner comes all the way out to collect the puck. Now to A.J. Phelan. He sends the puck back in. Schlemko leaves it back at the net. And it's Benfeld moving it up to Jared Sauer. Jared Sauer throws it at Sexsmith. He turns it aside. Undershoot on the far boards. Still working with Wasden. Undershoot gets possession. Jared Sauer roaming in the slot area if they can get him the puck. Glass has to reach to keep it in, cannot. Tries to send it back in, does, but only for a moment. Then Jared Sauer picks it off and sends it in deep. Tigers again make a line change. Festerling up to right. Michael Sauer now has it over to Russell. Russell up for Undershoot. Undershoot sends it in. It's offside. Dorsett in too soon.
You still look for those good defensive plays. You look for the checks in front of the net. I believe this is Colton Grant doing a very good job in front of his own net as Vancouver tries to get that puck in the slot area. He just does his job. Check it. Keep your eye at 12 White right there. He's got good position. See him? He's on the inside of the Vancouver Giant forward net. Allowed that play to be broken up.
From the faceoff, Mickelson up to Mahachik. No further than the Tiger line, and here comes the Tigers in transition. It's Stevens, has it roll off his stick. Festerling trying to check him, but Todd gets the puck. Todd hit by Festerling and knocked down. Play on, says the refs. Stevens back to Michael Sauer. Michael Sauer to Russell. Shot, knocked down in front. It's still sitting loose in front of the net. Here's a centering pass, and it goes off the target. Lowry had a chance to end it there. Mahachik taps it out to center ice. Russell gets possession of the puck. And now Festerling calming things down for a moment. Cross ice to Mickelson. Lead pass, tips high and out of play. Back of the Medicine Hat. Goal to the right of goaltender Keatley.
This is a play you're talking about. Lowry has a chance on a redirect. He gets into a little bit of a space in front of the net. Watch the pass right there, 19 White. He's got 3 black-shirted Vancouver Giants around him. He's still got enough of that puck on his stick to get it towards the goal. It just missed the net.
Schlemko, cross ice, Baldwin. And it's hammered back into Vancouver territory. Thielen trying to reach it, cannot. Tigers jump on the puck. Helm had it, lost it, and now it's tapped out by Vancouver. Repik trying to give chase to Schlemko. Repik hits Schlemko, puck loose back of the net. It's Baldwin playing it around the far side, and out it goes. 3 minutes gone in the second overtime. Game 7. Lucic in over the line. Rabbit can't get a shot away as he tried to pull the trigger. Meantime, Bosch trying to send Undershoot away, but Blum cuts that one off. Blum's pass out to Lucic. There's 3 Giants through the neutral zone. Repik putting on the break, tapped off his stick. Tries to get it to Lucic, and with a good reach, he did get it, but they give it away, and 3 Tigers come back. Wasden shoots it in from center. It goes off the glass. Blum, lead pass to Rabbit. He's stripped of the puck by Stevens. Blum follows it up, lost his stick. Now Stevens with a great chance to pass it in front. Benfield trying to get a shot and cannot. Sexsmith puts his glove on it. Oh, that was hectic there because one of the Vancouver players had their stick stripped right out of their hands by Stevens. There's not going to be any penalties unless it's unbelievable or that puck over the glass.
And the reason this play is inside the Vancouver Giant zone, and that puck stripped off Blum's stick right there is a good defensive play. Chris Musselmaid closing the gap, using his stick to deflect that play in his own zone. And then they Tigers work it in deep. Sexsmith in really good position again to handle that problem. Not a real good scoring chance.
Russell from the faceoff, cutting in. Russell throws it at the net. Oh, he loves to do that. That's another one of those set plays by Medicine Hat. They win it, and then he goes outside and then cuts to the net, and he almost had the game winner there.
You gotta win that face-off first of all, as Dorsett does. Look at that puck bounce. They stay with it. That's explosiveness going to the outside, and they just throw it to the front of the net area. But again, Mickelson in there, Bliznak in there, in position to make that play impossible to complete.
Every face-off critical. Vancouver wins this one. McArdle forcing it out, but only for a moment. Todd sends it back in again. Sexsmith will leave it back at the net for Blum. The Tigers take the moment to make a line change. 4 minutes gone in the second overtime. Here comes Mahachik. Mahachik with McArdle. Now it's Michael Sauer on the far side. Blum, McArdle. Blum may have been caught. Here come the Tigers. It's Bosch with Helm. Bosch going in, shooting it. Big rebound in front. Comes back to Baldwin. Schlemko shoots. That's knocked down. Festerling makes another block. Helm trying to center it. Ennis has the puck. Or rather, Grant had it, and it's stripped off his stick. Blum safely off the boards and out. Schlemko. Now Bliznak. Now Blum. And now McArdle. And he sends it in deep. But it hits something on the way where it went out of play. And a face-off in the neutral zone.
Well, you'll see Jonathan Blum. Is he deep? Is he close on the pinch? Watch him. You'll see him. He's almost on the face-off dot in the opposing zone. I know he's got Bliznak backing him up on the far top of your screen, but it's still a forward play in defense. Bosch knows that they've got a defenseman trapped. He takes that puck and gets a shot on the net.
Lead pass ends up on the, well, up in the rafters, literally. Hit the pillar way up high. We'll get another face-off.
You just wonder, you know, if maybe the lively backboards might have a factor here in the overtime winning goal.
Sure.
You know, I mean, it is a keep in mind, it's a big factor out there. I can tell you one thing that won't be a factor, Dan, as it was last night, and that is a seam in the glass. That's never going to happen again in this series. But those backboards, that's another story.
Here's a broken up play potentially for J.D. Watt and Kraus. Kraus gets it to Boma, and it's intercepted. Todd moves the puck up. Boma gets it back again. He too is taken down. Todd will try to send it in deep. Mickelson and Stevens. Mickelson not very hard around those boards. Thielen has to hustle to get over there. And Watt gets possession. And here comes Vancouver. Watt, Boma in over the line. Now it's Kraus cutting in. A shot. Keatley makes the save. Wow. Another big save for Keatley. It's the 39th shot he's faced.
A.J. Thielen does a nice job along the back wall. It's just getting his stick in there. That allows J.D. Watt to break away. And if you watch Watt, he's the last guy, or Kraus coming up. He takes the shot, and in traffic, he's got Helm, I think, in his way there in between that shot. Somehow Keatley finds it, makes that easy save.
Giants, offensive zone face-off. They win it. Here's Lucic, Rabbits in front, Repic back of the net, throwing it in front, and it just went off a stick wide of the net. Never quite got out into that blue shaded crease. Look at them battle, and battle, and battle some more. There's just no end to the battle. McArdle back of the net, tries to work it in front. Repic tries his luck. Lucic on the far side, undershoot trying to take him out. Here's a long shot by Regner. That's knocked down. The Tigers intercept, and here they come. But they're tired. I'm sure they'll just, well, then maybe not. I thought they would dump it in. Undershoot. He's going to protect the puck instead. But it's forced out by Vancouver. And here they come, the Giants. Lucic picking up the puck. Putting it wide off those backboards. And the Giants make a line change. Nearing the 7-minute mark of the second overtime of Game 7. Here come the Tigers. Todd and Stevens trying to get behind the Vancouver defense. It's Dorsett back of the net on the back end, throwing it in front of the net. And Festerling intercepts again. Up to McArdle. McArdle, stick handling, going wide. Sauer trying to take him out. Russell comes over as well. Sauer and Russell both trying to get the puck. Mahachik gets it. Mahachik throws it at the net, and Bliznak tips it off the target. Bliznak Throws it at the net again. McArdle's got the puck. McArdle coming off the boards. It rolls off McArdle's stick. And Bosch and Mahachik battle. And here comes Bosch. Bosch with speed. Bosch shooting. Score! The second time this decade and the 5th time in franchise history, the Tigers are Western Hockey League champions, and the Tigers will walk through the front door at the Memorial Cup tournament, but the Giants, they'll walk right through it with them, really.
You know, Brendan Bosch gets his first goal against the Vancouver Giants, and it starts in the corner of the rink. Just good, solid defensive positioning by the Medicine Hat Tigers. And when Bosch breaks up the ice, he decides to shoot the puck, and he may have caught Sexsmith a little bit flat-footed, but this place is absolutely erupted. And what a classic, Dan. It's an absolute classic WHL final. This is the corner. This is McArdle in there. Bosch starts to rush, gets up. Mahachik was on his knees with him. He takes matters into his own hands. He uses Festerling as a bit of a screen. That is as good a one-man effort as I've ever seen for an important goal to be scored by Brendan Bosch. He's going one way. Sexsmith is expecting that. And look at that celebration.
This place absolutely explodes as the Tigers win the championship, and the Giants are on their knees, literally at the own blue line, waiting for the handshake. And what a night of hockey. What a series of hockey that comes to an end. If the Western Hockey League's ever had a better final, I'd love to know what that series was in the long, rich history of this league.
The Medicine Hat Tigers were down 3-2 in this series. The Tigers were down 2-1 in Game 7 here. And they just find a way to win. And boy, I'll tell you, there should be a lot of hugs out there. Well, MVP, there's absolutely no question. I bet everything I had on it, Matt Keatley. And there's another goaltender and opposing goalie that was just sensational. And look at that. That's as good as it gets, folks.
Captain Chris Russell. There's Matt Keatley and Kendall McArdle. Those are the two goalies that were here together in Medicine Hat. Neufeld, the backup last year. Dorsett going through the handshake. And these teams will meet again. They'll meet again next week. They'll meet again in Vancouver in the round robin of the Memorial Cup. And for the Vancouver Giants, it's their first series loss in 2 years. And for the Medicine Hat Tigers, they have now won 6 straight series. 7:16 the time of the goal in double overtime.
Just such a thrill to be a part of this, Dan. I mean, we were so fortunate. The Shaw games that were carried on Shaw this year, the playoffs, it just doesn't get better than that. To absolutely end it with this game right here tonight. Wow. Jared Sauer, local Medicine Hat boy.
How about their record in overtime? 4-0 during the 07 playoffs. And a different hero every game. And I think we're ready for Barry Strader. Go ahead, Barry.
All right, thanks very much, Dan. I am with the hero of Game 7, double overtime, Brendan Bosch scoring the winning goal. Tell us about the goal and how you felt.
I just kind of picked it up. I heard everyone yelling 3-on-2, and I just wanted to get up ice as quick as can, and decided to take a shot, and ended up beating them.
How did it feel to see that puck go in the net?
Best feeling I've ever experienced in my life. It was unbelievable. I can't explain it.
How about this game, though? Game 7 of a championship final going to double overtime. Can you explain the emotions that were going through the guys on the bench and on the ice tonight?
I think it's something everyone dreams of growing up, scoring a Game 7 goal to win a championship. And, you got to give Vancouver a lot of credit. They forced the Game 7, and, they're a great team, and we're just real excited right now.
Congratulations on the win. Good luck at the Memorial Cup.
Thanks a lot.
Larry Johnson, and from Cal Tire, Tony Buckmeyer, the presenting sponsors of the 2007 WHL Championship. The WHL would like to congratulate both the Medicine Hat Tigers and the Vancouver Giants for another highly competitive and exceptional WHL Championship Series. And now for the presentation of the 2007 Western Hockey League Playoff Most Valuable Player Award, to be presented by Vice President of Hockey Operations for the WHL, Mr. Richard Dirksen. The WHL Playoff Most Valuable Player is presented to the player judged to be the most outstanding player throughout the 2007 WHL Playoffs. The 2007 WHL Playoff Most Valuable Player Award goes to number 33 of the Medicine Hat Tigers, Matt Keatley! The captain and alternate captains of the WHL champion Medicine Hat Tigers to come forward for the official presentation of the WHL Championship trophy and individual commemorative plaques. Mr. Tony Buckmeyer from Cal Tire and Mr. Larry Johnston from Myers Norris Penny will present to the alternate captains the WHL Championship plaques, which will be presented to all members of the WHL Championship Medicine Hat Tigers team. Alternate captains, please come forward. The Western Hockey League Commissioner, Ron Robison, will now present the Western Hockey League Championship Trophy to the captain of the Medicine Hat Tigers, Chris Russell. Congratulations to your 2007 WHL champions, Medicine Hat Tigers. Best of luck to both the Tigers and the Vancouver Giants during the MasterCard Memorial Cup Tournament, which will be held in Vancouver May 18th to 27th. Western Hockey League would like to take this opportunity to extend a special thanks to all of you, the fans and sponsors, for your local support over the past season. We look forward to seeing you all again next season for another exciting year of WHL champions. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, your 2007 Western Hockey League champions, your Medicine Hat Tigers!
Joined now here ringside by Bill Williams. And Bill, I don't know if there's any words to put any words to describe exactly what happened in that game tonight. Unbelievable double overtime victory for the Medicine Hat Tigers.
Well, Dan, I talked to a couple people in between periods. I had to get out of the booth there. It was just so stifling hot. And I'll bet you I must have talked to 6 people and said it was the best WHL hockey they'd ever seen.
I don't doubt it for one moment. You know, full credit to Brendan Bosch. He had a great couple of chances in that first overtime, and then he was able to get it done there in the second overtime.
Well, you know, that was his first goal of the series against Vancouver. And what he did there when he got that puck in his own zone, he actually was down on his knees. If you remember coming out, he got up at the blue line area. But he's one of those smaller guys that just keeps those feet moving. And you could kind of see on the replay that when he cut over a bit to his right, he had Sexsmith moving, and then he put it right back to the far side. And it was a good goal, and the guy was a well-deserved player to get it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And you know what? The Medicine Hat Tiger players were just saluting their fans before. And, I mean, what can you say about this arena here? I mean, without these fans, you never know what kind of game they would play, but they're so behind them, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, the noise in this building was unbelievable. And there was a point, Dan, I think in the third period, with the Tigers trailing by a goal, that they kind of acknowledged the players and the 20-year-olds, and that really spurred that team up, and it really got them going. But, you know, the thing that impressed me as much as anything about the Tigers, Dan, they were down 2 games coming into this series. They trailed the series by 2. And they trailed in this game by a goal. So they're a worthy team to win this thing here tonight. But, boy, it could have gone either way.
All right, well, let's talk about the flip side. The Vancouver Giants, of course, losing this game. They play again on Friday. I mean, they have really not a lot of time to think about it. How does Don Hay get his team to get back into it and go, hey, we lost this one, but there's still another goal ahead?
Well, I think they're on a high, for one thing. I don't think it's going to be really difficult for Don Hay to get his team up too high to play here. They're a very well-oiled team right now. Let's be honest, they wanted that trophy as much as anybody did, but they also know that there's an important week up next, and I don't think for 1 minute this team has entered this Memorial Cup through the back door. Side door maybe, but not anymore through the back door.
All right, well, Barry Strader is standing by with the MVP of the playoffs, Matt Keatley.
Thanks very much, Dan. First of all, how does it feel to win the WHL Championship in your hometown, Game 7? What was the feeling like for you, Matt?
Oh, it's almost speechless. The guys really came out hard, and we just kept going at them. You know, we got down there, and we knew if we just kept plugging away, we had a good chance at it. It's unbelievable. I've wanted this for 4 years now, and we had the greatest group of guys to do it with.
You were named the MVP of the playoffs for the WHL this year. How does that feel?
Oh, it's one of those things I'll never forget. But there's a lot of guys out there battling for me, blocking shots and everything. It's one of those team MVPs. I'll take it back and share it with everyone.
This Game 7 had a bit of everything. Double overtime, fog in the first overtime period. What's the most memorable moment for you tonight?
I think when I seen just Tyson, he was unbelievable. I seen him go down, and Bosher was screaming at the top of his lungs. I knew it was over, and I was just pulling off my helmet. I didn't even know what to do.
Matt, congratulations on the win, and good luck at the Memorial Cup in Vancouver.
Thanks a lot.
Matt Keatley, goaltender and MVP of the playoffs for the Medicine Hat Tigers. Now back to Dan.
Now, of course, Bill, he was a backup to Kevin Nasiak in the 04 Memorial Cup, or the WHL Championship that Medicine Hat won, and going, of course, on to the Memorial Cup. Maybe talk about his play, because you know what? Sometimes he got maligned a little bit during the season. He had some tough games, and the fans sometimes got on him. He even talked about it, how they got him a little bit tough, but man, especially in this game, he performed unbelievable, and he definitely was the reason why Medicine Hat is holding that trophy right now.
I don't recall a bad goal that he let in, to be honest with you. I'm not sure there's any that he'd say, he could have had back. And the thing is, his positioning, as always is, when you're that big a goaltender, he moved from post to post really well. He had to get out of the net when he did. And, all the series that he played, I never saw him struggle. But then I didn't see Sexsmith struggle either, making a save. Sometimes you struggle to make a save. They were both solid. And I can tell you right now, I'm convinced if Vancouver had won, I think Tyson Sexsmith would have been the MVP.
I don't disagree with you. They both of them make it look so easy out there. At times you go, I can't believe they made that save, and it doesn't even faze them at all.
Yeah, it's exactly right. The rebound control was good. Even the save selection, the type of save that you make is important, and they made good ones.
Okay, these two teams now both go off to the Memorial Cup. Lewis and Plymouth, the other two teams. Are we going to see these two teams in the Memorial Cup final?
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, when you look at Lewiston, the Quebec Hockey League, Dan, they had 9 players with 100 points or more. Lewiston's top guy was 23rd. So what does that tell you? That tells you they're a defensive team as well. So they could be interesting. And obviously Plymouth is a solid team. But I wouldn't be surprised if they're playing one more time. Dan Russell said a while back they could play 9 times, and it could well be.
Yeah, well, that would be a fantastic finish for both teams. Definitely love to see it one more time, especially in a big game like that. All right, we're going to take one more break here, but we'll be back with lots more here post-game as the Medicine Hat Tigers are the 2007 WHL champions. Brennan Bosch picked the right time to score his first goal of the series. It was in double overtime, 7-16 in double overtime. Medicine Hat Tigers defeat the Vancouver Giants 3-2 in double overtime, win their 5th WHL championship, Bill. And you know what? It's just, we can't say it enough about these two teams and this series. Everybody says that this will probably be a classic. It has to go down as one of the best ever, or if not the best.
Well, I think it'll go down as the best ever involving two teams going to the Memorial Cup. That's for sure. Nobody would have predicted for 1 second that these two teams would play that hard, given that they're already in the tournament.
Okay, realistically though, Bill, Lewiston will have had basically over a week and a half off. Plymouth will have a week off before they go to the Memorial Cup. Do you think these two teams beating each other up will affect them in this tournament?
Well, I wouldn't have want to go one more game or one more night. I wouldn't want to go Tuesday night. This is long enough. I think both coaches will take this a little bit of a break. They thrive on the break. They thrive on teaching. I think they'll be ready to fire it up again real quick. But there's some battered bodies out there.
There is a lot of battered bodies out there. And you know what, we talked about before the series started about the relationship between Don Hay and Willie Desjardins. You know, during the series, there wasn't a lot of talking going on between them, and I'm sure it won't continue. It will continue like that in the Memorial Cup, but for two guys like that to battle out, they're in it too. It's not just the players who are in it. They want to win it just as much.
Well, that was what it was all about. It was strictly about wanting to win, and they have a lot of respect for each other. And I'll tell you why. Because each team prepares so well, and they know how each team is prepared. So, they're two great coaches. I've talked to a lot of people that say they're the two best in the league right now.
Now, I want to ask you, obviously the Giants the last 3 games now going with 5 defensemen. Do you think that affects them down the stretch here, especially going into double overtime?
I don't think so. I really don't. I didn't see any glaring, areas out there where you kind of felt somebody was tired. I thought that collective 5 played great. I thought the collective 6 for Medicine Hat played great. It was going to take a forward making a real good play somewhere to get the winning goal. I didn't think it would be a shot from just over the blue line, but when I saw it on replay again, you could see how Sexsmith kind of just got handcuffed a little bit by it. No, I think the 5 defense worked really really well for Vancouver, surprisingly well, to be honest with you, Dan.
Okay, now the mentality obviously going to the Memorial Cup a little bit different. You're not playing a 7-game series. It's one game. I mean, basically you're trying to get yourself into the final, into the semifinal. How do the coaches have to approach this differently?
Well, it's a sprint. It's not a marathon anymore. There's no question. You've got to get it done in a hurry. Everything is magnified big time. You don't want to lose. You lose a game, you may have a chance. You lose 2, you haven't got a chance. But, I believe it's 13 players for Vancouver that have been there in the past last year. So I think Don Hayne knows how to prepare his team. He's very, very good at that. He's been there enough himself. And playing at home, again, Dan, a big crowd. You remember that from the World Junior, how they got behind Team Canada. They'll do that with Vancouver, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and I'm sure there'll be a few Medicine Hat fans heading out to Vancouver as well. Let's hear from the captain of the Medicine Hat Tigers, Chris Russell, who's with Barry Strader.
Thanks very much, Dan. Chris, obviously a huge emotional win for you. What was it like to lift that trophy up tonight?
Well, it's awesome. Only one captain gets to do that a year, and it's definitely, a team effort tonight. I thought the boys played well. We didn't start off as well as we wanted to, but I thought we just kept building. Every period we got stronger, and I thought it showed.
Everyone was predicting this would be a close, long series. Was this the toughest series you've ever been involved in as a player?
Oh, for sure. Vancouver's got a great team. The depth on that team is so, they're a class organization as well, and they come hard at you. And, it's definitely, good to get the win, and we're excited about it.
How did it feel when Brennan Bosch put that puck in double overtime to win it?
Oh, it's just like a huge relief. It was, I don't know if you can explain what it feels like, but it's definitely a great feeling, and it's great for Boscher. He's a player who works hard every night, and it's great to see him rewarded.
Now, of course, you guys wanted to earn your way to the Memorial Cup. You knew going into this series that you were going, but it must be awfully satisfying to know that you're going in as the WHL champion. So how do you look forward now to the Memorial Cup starting next week?
Oh, we're looking forward to it. This is just a step of what we want to do this year, and we know we're going there, and there's going to be 4 great teams, and we know we have to have our best hockey of the year to be successful, or even to challenge teams. So we're looking forward to the challenge, and it's going to be an exciting week, I think.
Chris, congratulations on being WHL champions. Good luck in Vancouver.
All right, thanks a lot.
Chris Russell, the captain of the WHL champion Medicine Hat Tigers, who defeated the Vancouver Giants 3-2 in double overtime in Game 7. Tonight, we'll have more from the Medicine Hat Arena coming up after the break.
Welcome back to the arena in Medicine Hat. Yes, the Medicine Hat Tigers defeat the Vancouver Giants 3-2 in double overtime to win their 5th WHL title in franchise history. It was just an unbelievable game here at the arena. And you know what? It's been an unbelievable season, Bill. We did 26 regular season games, another 25 in the playoffs. I mean, did you have a little bit of fun? I'm sure did.
Well, we saw 3 overtime games. We had a Game 7 overtime, Calgary and Kootenay. We had an overtime winning goal here by Tyler Ennis against Calgary as well. It's just been outstanding. And if that's not the best value for your entertainment dollar, then I really don't know what is. If you didn't get excited by what you saw on Sean, especially in this playoffs, then you don't know an awful lot about excitement in junior hockey. It's the best.
It was unbelievable. You know what? The best hockey that I've seen by far. All right, well, we'd like to thank everybody here at Shaw and our crew throughout Medicine Hat across Western Canada for just putting on an unbelievable show throughout the season and regular season. It was the Medicine Hat Tigers winning their 5th WHL title, defeating the Vancouver Giants 3-2 in double overtime. Brennan Bosch had the OT winner as the Tigers win the series 4-3. What a season we had for Dan Russell, Bill Williams, Barry Strader, our entire crew here at Medicine Hat, and all the people across the Shaw Network for our broadcast that help us put it to air. I'm Dan Elliott. Thanks for watching for another great season in 2007, and we'll see you at the Memorial Cup.